Welcome, one and all, to Shadow of the Broker 23, Blurring the Line. I am Jack, your humble GM and player, not so humble Balken, but that's another story. And I have with me 5 players, don't ask about the 6th one, who, I guess we'll go ahead and start with introductions then, too. So yeah, go ahead and start with Kale. Introduce your character.
Ariel on Sale is a Force-sensitive archaeologist who is traveling with the broker to learn the secrets of the past and Force, and whatever else interesting happens along the way. He tends to be one of the goodies in the group.
All right, good for him. Jeff.
Oh, give me a sec.
All right, Kyle.
Well, I am playing Find Me, if I may. I can't say Find. Sorry, I just woke up right now. That's my excuse. I'm playing Fi today. She's a scholar who was a professor on the planet Dak, the Montgomery homeworld, before she got caught selling test scores and was disgraced. That's all I can think of to say right now. Exhausted.
All right, and Leslie.
Playing Hawk, the bounty hunter, trick shot. Right now, he's just trying to collect as many bounties as he can. He talks really a big game, but he's really not all that tough. Yeah, right now he's looking for money. So that's Hawk.
All right, and Tommy.
I'm playing Ragesh Vai, and he is a spy. And I just realized that those actually rhyme for the first time today. But yeah, he's one of the new members of the. Well, he's not a new member of the Broker's network. He was a member of a different cell, the Millennia cell, that had a bit of a tragedy, and he was helped along by the Coronet cell. So yeah, he owes his life to you guys.
And he's made a great job of paying back that debt. Anyway, finally, Jeff, if you're ready.
Alrighty. I am playing R0C-K4, Rocky to his friends. He started out as a lowly little LEVO police droid on a little backwater asteroid prison colony. When a freak electrical storm caused him to miss his daily memory wipe. Since then, he's sort of been on the run, developing his personality and making as many new memories as he can. And that is sort of how he fell into work with the broker. And recently, he received a nice new body, courtesy of Jeppo Sr. and his plans, and that was built by our own brilliant Balken Oppen, and then installed by Jokin. So he's really he's ready to test out his shiny new body.
All right. Well, let's hope he's not disappointed. Okay, we will. Yeah, let's do that first. Everyone roll Destiny, because I know I'm going to forget one of these things. And I'll go ahead and add the Destiny points, so just leave that be. Oh my gosh. The Force is with you tonight, guys. All right. And next thing we shall roll. No one in here has duty, right?
I do.
guess to the. Oh yeah, to the broker.
And I have a little duty too. We didn't pick up duty last session, right?
No.
All right. Well, we'll roll obligation first, regardless.
Yeah, Leslie, did you put your duty in there on the sheet?
Let me go check. I mean, I think it's up there. I think it's just like 5 or something like that, 5 or 10.
Oh well, yeah,
4.
it's not up here. But yeah, for obligation, it sails right over your guys' heads. Unless someone forgot, but no, that'd just be Rogesh. I know he doesn't have any. Okay, yeah, so sail obligation. No one got pinged. And now for duty. Oh, that's I don't even have to look. I know that's way over.
Yep.
Okay, and so
We also
let's
have
see.
morality.
Oh yeah, we do. 83. Unless are those of Paragon. Oh,
Yes, but sorry, I should have brought this up at the last chill session. I like the alternate method where you just use the last digit to clue into morality. It gives everybody a 10% chance to activate it. Sorry, just a note
Really?
yeah.
Yeah, I much prefer the percentile method.
Okay.
half of one, six of one, half dozen of the other. I don't think I'm gonna go ahead and retcon that to not triggering morality. Kind of got caught up in the roles.
I'm cool with that.
All right. All right. So, Destiny and resources. Did I forget anything? All right. I'm gonna take that as a no. So we begin on the Sunflare. Everyone is going about their respective business, but then find themselves summoned to the cockpit. Well, that's later. We need to get out of the Shire first. And find themselves summoned to the cockpit, where they find Balken Oppen sitting by a console. He looks at the group that have chosen to assemble and nods before turning back towards his console. I'm glad I could get some people to. I'm glad I could get some people to listen to me. I believe I have uncovered more information about that institute that was running that facility you guys found me on. And then he looks at Rogesh and goes, "Oh, wait, that was before your time, wasn't it?"
I've read the mission report.
Oh, okay, good. Finally, someone reads those. And so he goes back over to his console and pops up a hologram of what looks like just a kind of an arid planet. See a few lakes on it, but there isn't anything special. And Balken points to it and he goes, "This planet is so insignificant, it doesn't even have a damn name. The surveyors called it 8-2 something or whatever when they first passed through the system, but otherwise they didn't even bother taking a cohesive survey of the planet itself. They just noted its existence when they were charting the course through the planets. However, I have received information from one of my contacts that after they did the initial survey, the Institute came along sometime later and built their own facility, Facility 07. We may name it that after we kick the Institute off it. Or I can go ahead and call it that now, regardless. This is the first hint of this Institute's existence that I found beyond Facility 13, which I think I'm not the only one who does not want to go back there. So, I think, and if you're willing, we should go to this planet, meet up with my contact, and try and investigate this facility. As far as I can tell, at least from what the contact told me, this facility is still operating normally, unlike Facility 13, which got majorly screwed up.
I don't know. Facility 13 was a nice place for me.
Yeah, Mr. Mechanical, not affected by any of these crude gases or viruses.
So Hawk is going to chime in and he's going to be like, what kind of payout are we talking about?
Well, I must admit, the excursion on the wheel in Shilgana bled my coffers dry. There isn't much in the way of money I can offer to you, but if Facility 13 was any indication, this place will be a treasure trove of technology. And that will probably fetch a good price. Some places. Depends on how good you are at finding markets for that.
Am I going to incur another life debt from you, Balken?
I try to avoid these since for once I think we've broken even.
So what you're saying is there's no money up front.
I can pay you nothing. No, I am broke. If you find money there or technology you want to keep to sell, that is your choice. But if we go in, we do this, and we go out without really touching anything, I can't promise you payment.
So it's something like an IOU then, right?
I guess you could call it that.
So is this going to be a simple smash and grab, or do you need something, or are we going there to learn something in particular?
I'm not entirely sure. I need to talk to the contact first. However, I'd rather not, knowing what these facilities can contain, I'd rather not break too many things. I'd rather not loose something sinister, as much as you may find that hard to believe.
You take all the fun out of everything, Balkan.
So what's our main objective? Just to go in there and just observe? Or?
For the moment, it really depends on what happens when I meet my contact. He did say that our path to the surface will be clear, but afterward, I'm not entirely sure. I'm basically asking you to accompany me, and perhaps get your hands a little dirty.
I like getting my hands dirty. When do we go?
Yeah, I'll watch your back.
Oh, by the way, Jeff, do you have headphones?
Yes, I do. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
While he's doing that, does anyone else have any questions? Any more questions?
Did your contact give any indication of the type of research that was being done?
No. Given what we discovered on Facility 13, it seems like the research going on is dependent as to who's actually there studying, especially the overseeing scientists. Like Facility 13 had me, Dr. LaRam, and Dr. McCon, and the studies on this facility were dependent on what we were interested in researching. Given if the Institute is following the same operating procedures as they were in Facility 13, it really depends. No, I don't know.
Do you know the names of the doctors or the researchers?
The contact was able to share with me 3 names. However, he did not make it clear if these were the only doctors supervising the work on the facility.
Do you know? Oh, go ahead.
No, you ask first. I can.
So I'm curious though, with these research facilities, they have to have research assistants. They have to have
Support staff.
Support staff. Thank you. And since you were, according to the mission report, you were one of the head researchers at that other facility. How do you get hired for these sorts of things?
I can only tell you what I observed when they invited me, and that was frankly a message passed down the grapevine through some old colleagues I had at the academy. They made me aware of it, and they told me these people were interested. I tried tracking those people down after the team was able to rescue me, but those contacts went nowhere. I was able to find one of my old colleagues, but he says he doesn't even remember me he doesn't even remember sending me the message.
Well, I'm just wondering, just as one angle, if we knew how just support staff got hired, I would like to see if Rogesh could actually infiltrate before the team got there, just as like even a janitor or something. They probably have droids for that, but you know what I mean. Would that be a possibility at all, or no?
Sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied here. I would have to say no, because the only method of interaction between this group I've had is through that grapevine that apparently grew out of nowhere. The only way I knew of this group's existence was because of the contact, and the contact only answered my questions regarding the facility. Anything a bit more about his background, he was tight-lipped on, and he kind of says "lipped" in a bit of a sarcastic way. Balken does. At the silence of the group, Balken points over to the control station and he says, the contact was able to provide pretty good coordinates, and I've already had Pippa run the astrogation calculations. So all I need to do is tell her to jump and we're good. But of course, I'd like for you to be fully informed as well as I am. So if you have any more questions, I can still answer them.
Yeah,
Did your contact indicate any reason for urgency, or that something might have gone wrong here?
Urgency? No. It did not appear that there was any necessary state. That's why I waited for us to have some sufficient downtime after our dealings with Isotech. Because I actually got the message not long after we left Raxus Prime, but there were things that were still a little hectic.
is this like in the outer rim, or I mean, where are we going?
It's actually in wild space. The only reason that this
Whoa!
place is even known is because they were some wayward surveyors charted some of the systems in this area. But aside from the fact that they know the planets there is nothing known about this place.
Okay, well, yeah, I'm good for questions.
Yep, same here.
All right. If anyone wants to chirp up right now, say it, because Balken's just going to turn and tell Pippa to go.
Now you're making me think that we're missing something important.
Is this a save?
As a GM, you're not. I just want everyone to have their chance to ask questions before we start.
All right. I mean, since we're going to wild space, there's always a chance of pirates and stuff like that. So, have there been, any reports of, pirate activities or stuff like that?
I honestly don't know. I tried to do some modest research about the region, but all I could find were the original surveys, which were done centuries ago. If there are pirates there, I couldn't find anything about it.
If there are pirates, I will crush them.
Yeah, so that's why I'm so glad our Rock was able to respond to my message.
All right, well, sounds good. I'm interested in this technology that they've got.
All right. Balken just queues up the console again, types in a few things, and then quickly the Sunflare is belted off into hyperspace. A short time later, the ship arrives over the planet, and I just realized I don't have a good picture of the planet. So just imagine we pop over. It's
Mars.
a planet, mostly orange, but you can see kind of semi-large bodies of water dotting the place, a few large rivers. However, the most notable thing you see, aside from the planet itself, are little satellites orbiting it. The Sunflare actually dropped off pretty close to one as it was in the middle of its orbit, and everyone gets a good, nice look at it. Tempted to make you roll warfare, but I won't. You see a giant gun on it. It appears to be a satellite turret meant to intercept any ships heading towards the planet. It's flying right by us, but it does not react to our presence.
Oh, yeah, one thing. So another thing I would have asked Balkan beforehand, I wasn't thinking, but I mean, do we have permission to be here?
Oh yeah, like I said, the contact told Balkan that we would be clear to the surface.
Oh, got it. Right, you did say that.
So that's why Balkan he's looking at it as it passes by, but he just watches it.
All right, Faye's gonna try. I want to try and find the signal that's being sent to them from the planet, because obviously there's a button somewhere to hit somewhere. It's got to be a signal. I don't know if it's constant or not, but you just like to,
Okay, I guess it would be a competitive check to scan for the signal and from that divine its origin. It would be, oh wow, it's one of those high intellect checks. So it would be 5. No, it's not 5 purple. It's 3 red, 2 purple.
The next day. Really expedite the stuff. Really fast. But because I had that experience, they bumped me to part-time swing driver right away.
Wow, I'm kind of surprised.
That went a lot better than it could have.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised it just went flatline. No. You're able to tell that these things are remotely controlled, but you have no idea where the controlling signal is coming from.
Oh, can we do a boost on that from one of us? I mean, I'll just say Ragesh was like, "Oh, wait, I think you might have missed something."
Yeah, sure. I'll let you roll one boost die for that.
It's like a 2-to-1 ratio. So they had to have part-time swing driver to cover those. But as everything always works out, we don't have enough people. Now you have to go do the full time. So I quickly, because I knew the Fox Valley really well, I went around.
Are you gonna roll that one boost? Ah.
Oh,
All right. From that, you are not able to kind of slice into the signal, but you're able to locate that it is coming from the control signal is coming from the other side of the planet, where it would actually be morning, depending according to where the planet is facing. So it is actually on the other side of the planet from where you're facing now. You're facing the afternoon side, if you call it that. So, if no one else wants to poke and prod the angry-looking satellite,
I'll poke and prod it. Someone just needs to tie the rope around my waist.
last time we did that, you broke a panel.
Oh yeah.
All right. So, if anyone else, if no one else stops him, Balken is just going to have the what's the word? The
Ship?
autopilot the ship basically take it down to where Fa was able to find the signal source, and when he does, the group finds. Well, actually, yeah, sure, I'll go ahead and move it over. The group finds what looks like a very expansive base with a large loading ramp that leads down into the valley below and a high control tower. Well, ignore the droid for now, but he'll come up soon. There's a big open area right by the loading ramp where the gate appears to be open. The Sunflare is able to pull into that very easily, and since Balken thought that they were expected, he is just going to land there. You are basically coming down the valley, so there is some time to change your landing position if you want to, but otherwise you are just going to land right in the middle of that base.
Are there any visible like gun turrets or mounted defense along a defensive wall that would give it sort of the appearance of an actual military-style base?
Roll, I think from distance, it would be a hard perception check.
Anybody want to help me?
Sure, I'll do it.
Okay. So I'll get a boost from Ragesh.
Probably want a skill assistance. You have 5 cunning, right? Don't you? Or you have a high cunning, right?
3 cunning.
3 cunning.
But he needs to have skill for that.
And I don't have skill.
Yeah.
Oh
Well,
no!
let's do it
Remember,
anyway.
guys, that was the one thing I thought that was my
No.
mistake.
If you want to provide skill assistance adding Rogesh's perception, yes, you may. But it can't just be attribute and his skill, which is 0. So he can't roll 3 green die. He has to roll with his cunning and Rogesh's skill.
Oh. So should I re-roll it, or I'm tempted to keep this, even though
Yeah, it's a success.
I'll keep it. Why not? Rock actually gets to see
You
something
notice on the corner, like the base itself does not have any. It has like a low wall that kind of meets. That closes off everything but the large gate in the front, which you can kind of see from this picture. I'd ping it, but I forgot how when I'm a GM. Regardless, in the corners of the basically square foundation, there are towers that are right there. There are towers that are closed off that come up to a big blocky point. You think, from your perspective, that those are covers for what are probably defensive turrets.
Okay, so there are gun emplacements. There is a defensive wall. What would so I'll pose the question to everyone in the group. I'll say it out loud. So, what would why would there be a military style base on this backwater boondock of a dust hole planet? And then why would they need to have gun emplacements. Does anyone is there anything on the planet other than it's a sort of a dusty brown hole, or are there any? Is there wildlife that we need to keep an eye out for, or anything like that?
Well,
That's the only reason I could see that there would be.
It's probably incredibly, illegal research at the very least.
it's cutting edge. They are probably worried about industrial espionage.
Yeah, but any spy agent worth his salt will get past all those things, no problem. Like Rogesh here. Rogesh, if you were going to infiltrate a compound like this, how would you do it?
I think it might be for getting out rather than getting in.
Oh, that's possible.
Well, my preferred method would be to have been in place already as an employee, but since this is in wild space with a very secret organization, that was not possible.
All right. So there's still a chance you can have Balken move the ship down to another landing course, but by now you're close enough to the base that and all of you can guess that if anyone's actually in the base, they've seen you coming. But there's been no reaction.
So we've had no indication that we're not anticipated, that we're not expected. Yeah, Erdo's happy to just land in the base.
Well, they're not shooting at us. Why not?
That sounds good.
All right. So the Sunflare finds the open plaza basically by the entrance and lands there. And quickly you notice that the droid that is already pictured in the top exits a nearby building and starts working towards the Sunflare. And when Balken sees him, his eyes just bulge, and he immediately makes for the airlock to make his way out.
Just asking for having played in the other. Is this droid familiar at Alta Rock?
Yeah, do we recognize
I
these
used
are
the
ones
same
that escaped?
picture for a reason.
Okay.
These are the ones that we helped escape from the last place.
Alrighty.
You were all in that first session, right? The ones asking, Kyle, Jeff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, you're able to recognize this as the same droid.
All right, I'm gonna pop out.
The one that, I don't remember if I was in the first or second session, but I remember seeing it.
If you see,
Is this from Traxxas?
No, it's from Menagerie of Madness. The first session got to him. The second session did not.
Oh, okay.
So they Rock and Phi can recognize him, and I guess Erdo too,
Yeah.
since I don't remember what session you were in either.
He does, because I remember I remember Phi grabbing a fusion cutter and Rock saying that it was good he didn't know that we had just smoked all those AIs.
Okay, then yeah. Erdo, Rock, and Phi, you all recognize this as the droid that was in one of Balken's labs that escaped during Menagerie of Madness.
Yeah, it was a taskmaster. Gotcha. He was played up as the false, the false flag, the red herring.
Well, anyway.
One question though. I thought that Taskmaster was taken over by a certain other AI, or am I mixing things up?
Taken over? No. But actually, Kyle is thinking of the wrong droid as well.
Yeah, he's not Taskmaster. He was another droid because his model is sort of like a command or a leadership or a management model. But yeah, I think Taskmaster was the one that was corrupted by our old friend Killjoy.
Okay.
Well, anyway, as at least Rock and Phi make their way out, Balken is ahead of them, and when he gets in close to the droid, he just shouts, "TBS, what are you doing here? I had no idea you were the contact." And then the droid looks down at him, head cocks a bit to the side, goes, "Master, I'm a bit surprised you're unable to divine my true identity behind my mask."
Rock's going to look very concerned and start hurrying towards Balken.
And the droid, now identified as, I guess now I can just type it in. Oh, that's not the right key. The droid holds up a hand towards Rock and just kind of does the closest thing that Net can do to a nod. Then he goes, "Please, I did deceive you, but I am trying to help you, like I said I was doing, even though it was behind a false disguise."
Quick question. This is more as a player, but I don't remember this part from the mission reports because I did skim through some of them. But with this droid, what is the danger here with him deceiving Balken? I don't understand the significance of him.
He is actually, yeah, I'd say the first group would be able to divine that. He's actually one of Balken's experiments while he was working at Facility 13.
And did he have like an antagonistic relationship with Balken, or?
No, but the group he was in charge with, that were all Balken's experiments, they left independently of Balken when the group was rescuing him. Like, they just saw the rescue team come in, go, "Wait, what's wrong?" And then the group told them what was wrong, and then they left. So actually, it's more the droids, as far as the group can tell, are kind of ambivalent, but Balken's kind of mad since they were his children, and they kind of left him behind and haven't called.
Oh, got it. Okay.
So Balkan's like the parent that lives in Florida whose children never call.
I
Yeah,
see.
they don't phone home.
They never
Till
call, they
now.
never write.
Yeah. So Balken's kind of miffed, but he doesn't seem to be taking an aggressive stance, and TBS just has that standard tactical droid. "Oh, here I am, calculating, like a nerd."
Well, I'm going to postulate to TBS. If that was a mask, then who are you under the mask? Dun dun dun. The
I
Rock wouldn't know.
am, and he takes a long pause and looks back up. "Tiberius, the leader of the League of Extraordinary Droids." Oh wait, no, automatons.
There's a league?
Yes, I believed I should have finished my master's experiments beyond Facility 13, and then in the privacy of the ship we were able to procure from the station, I was able to finish developing the rest of the League.
One
Balkan's
question.
That wasn't what that experiment was about! I was trying to...
Hold on, Balkan. Tiberius, if there truly is a league of extraordinary automatons, why wasn't I invited? I'm fairly extraordinary. I'll show off my big shiny new muscles and glorious chrome plating.
I do not doubt your sophistication or capabilities. The League is mainly formed out of droids that were created or rather developed, I guess would be a better word, by Balken Oppen in Facility 13. We have no membership or recruiting qualifications. We just simply were.
Are you having a pledge drive? Just kidding.
So why did you call us?
After the League was able to form and we escaped to the Institute, I knew my master would want to find more information on this group, especially after his ill circumstance. So the League and I investigated the Institute and soon found ourselves invited to join this facility, where I quickly found myself installed as the Taskmaster. With my control over this facility, I was able to contact my master and alert him of this facility's presence, while also giving him the security of not being shot down upon arrival.
Thank you for that.
Yeah,
That's right, bloody, welcome back. You don't get for that. And block about Sky trying to get some of that.
I'm sorry,
still
my
have-
auditory receptors did not pick that up.
Don't worry about it. But you still haven't told us why'd you call us here.
I believed my master would wish to investigate and he kind of looks down, looks back up. It's like he's trying to find the right word. Individuals that the agents encountered above Facility 13, the Devronian, Twi'lek, and Human. They are here at Facility 07.
Is this guy obviously a free droid? If that makes any sense.
He called himself Tiberius.
Has he
I'm
has he
certain that's
gone
true.
sentient on us? Or
I
not
believe,
sentient, but
You
he
want to make
is.
a computers check?
free will? Yeah, sure.
All right. From what you've been able to glean, it's just going to be an average check. Given his mannerisms and his constant stuttering. You do not know if he's apparently still bound to some sort of mechanical, standard droid mannerisms, but the fact that he gave himself a name, especially one derived from his standard serial code, he certainly seems a lot more sentient than not. And Balken eyebrows kind of picks up with the mentioning of that cyborg trio that the group did encounter before they made their way to Facility 13. And he goes, I don't even know those guys' names. Why'd you think I'd be interested with them? And Tiberius goes, they seem to have some sort of controlling influence. The access, actually, he points over to the large central tower that the base has, and he goes, that used to be my control hub, but when they arrived, they seized it, and I no longer have access to any of its capabilities.
Well, that's not fair. You were the taskmaster before they came in, and you should be the taskmaster even after. Unless I doubt if what you said is true, then it just sounds like they came in and overthrew you.
Oh, I still exert full capabilities over this entire facility. It is simply that structure that used to be, I guess you could say, my central control hub that they took over. I have moved my resources, but they still have control over the building.
Are there any permissions or accesses that they have solely from that building, or are you able to retain control over everything?
That building does control the main Signet array, and is the only one that is able of communicating beyond the small envelope it is able to pierce back into the outer rim. I used to be able to do that until I lost, they arrived. That is how I was able to contact you, Master.
Something doesn't compute. Why
Have you
would
had
they
any?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Have you had any communication with them since they took residence in the tower?
The strangest thing is that no, I haven't. The control tower has no access to any facilities an organic would require, and aside from the cybernetic enhancements into their heads, these individuals appear to be fully organic. Yet they appear not to have eaten anything for 3 days.
Do you know their names?
If they had names, they did not tell me, and they don't seem to have any names within the system as well. They are simply recognized by agent designations.
What are their designations?
The human, oh boy, you're gonna have to make me type this out. The human is Agent 23. Oh man, and now I just realized I don't know how to spell Devronian. The Devronian is Agent 70. And the Twi'lek is Agent 56. Yes, thank you. I made inquiries into the Institute database regarding agent designations and these specific agents, but I found myself blocked. I was afraid to probe further, unless the League would be uncovered.
So these three organics were sort of popped in and took residence in the only long-range communications building in the base. It doesn't sound good.
Indeed. That is why I hoped my master would bring along help when he eventually investigated this facility.
And you said they took up residence 3 days ago?
Yes. I'm afraid any aggressive stance towards the tower may result in the orbital defenses being arrayed against you.
Let's see if Ragesh may be able to sort of sneak his way in.
I'm not actually that sneaky. I'm more about deception and
I
hiding
thought
in
all
plain sight.
Advanics were sneaky.
I'm afraid even if this individual here was of the sneaky variety, and he actually does droid finger quotes, if you could believe it, he then just shakes his head. I'm afraid any physical entrance into the building was sealed the moment they entered.
Well, they have portable mains.
However, I do believe with my assistance as the taskmaster in the taskmaster position and my master's intellect, we might be able to open it. However, there comes the problem of how I was able to arrange for you to visit without being harassed. And then he pulls out a data pad. I was able to disguise your ship's visit as a standard foreign investigation. Most of the facility is now considering you as foreign supervisors from the Institute headquarters. You must now, in order for us to maintain the sorry, my gosh, in order for us to maintain this illusion, most of you must go on the rounds of surveying the facility's activities.
Okay.
Anything historical?
Droid looks down at the data pad, then back up at you. A couple of these supervising researchers are investigating certain sorts of devices from antiquity. However, I am afraid I cannot describe which ones are doing so. And he just holds out the datapad for any of you to pick up.
I guess Erdo will grab it and start reviewing it.
All right.
I will assist your review.
Hawk is gonna
The datapad is already unlocked. You can see everything on it. What you do see on it are 6 names of what appear to be the doctors that are in charge of individual sections of the facility. And along with those are coordinates, apparently cross-referenced by the planet's own geographical map. And these are the 6 names and sections you find on the datapad.
There's a droid doctor. Interesting.
Could you tell me about FTLT and special RNA?
I'm afraid... Oh, you know what? That last one is actually supposed to be...
R&D?
No. It's RNA, but the name's supposed to be Idan. I don't know where that N went. Regardless, for his questions, the droid, his eyes kind of dim a bit, as it seems like he's accessing information, then pulls it back up. Clan Tirfu is in charge of specialized development of new, faster-than-light technologies. Regarding Idan, the droid pauses, a long pause, and then finally goes, "It appears to be some sort of research and application." Actually, no, that's the wrong word. Recovery and application. I am not able to access more data about regarding what is actually being recovered and applied.
So what, you're still in the body system?
I'm afraid Idan's part of the facility has degraded into more low-tech standards. The original blueprint has been expanded upon with work I cannot access. It appears that he has used stone?
We should check that first. That seems to be the most troubling area.
Yes, well, you do speak with the authority of the Institute, and Idan should know this. So just be cautious. I do not know what exactly he's doing, but he should be deferring to you.
Excellent. Then I say
He then points over to what looks basically like a glorified air flying bus, and he goes, "Your ship will not be able to fit through the tight crevices some of the facility sections are tucked away in. You will need that to get to them."
Excellent. Let's go. Brock will begin walking towards the
Talk,
airbus.
they might, but because of because the fact that the main signet array is locked down, you cannot check. Yes, actually, Balken is going to go. It's like since I need to stay here with Tiberius and help unlock the doors to the central tower. I can watch after I can look after the ship, along with everyone that's already still in it.
Balken, I'm going to look at him and go, Balken, don't mock his name. He chose it for himself.
Yes, I know. Have fun, you five.
So they don't. So right now, I'm not able to tell if they have bounties. Is that what you're saying?
No. When you restore the central tower to functionality for everyone, you might be able to check, but for now, you can't.
But we should try to restore it just for ourselves, if that's possible.
Maybe. All right. So, if no one has any more questions for Tiberius, you can just get on the hover bus and move to your. I guess you're going to go to Iden's part of the facility first.
How far away is this place again?
Actually, if the data pad by the coordinates it gives you, it looks like the facility might actually cover most of this part of the planet's continent. So it is actually going to be somewhat of a ride to get there. It's a very far-flung facility to use.
Oh, okay. So in other words, like these are like separate sub-facilities, and we're just at like the main one. Okay.
Yeah. You could pretty much call the planet itself could probably be called Facility 07.
Okay.
But yeah.
Is
Alright.
the droid coming with us?
No, the droid and Balken are staying here to work on getting access to the central tower. Because this apparently Balken wants to get in there, and Tiberius can't by himself due to the agent's intervention. So for now, they're going to be here to get access to the tower, while the rest of the group is going to be holding up the illusion of the Sunflare being an investigation team from the Institute proper.
So do we have a face here today?
Brock will be the face.
I'm okay at it.
You got to be careful. Rock will form armies.
The datapad does seem to contain credentials that you may use in enforcing your position as Institute investigators.
Okay, fantastic.
All right, so since it seems like you've already decided to go to Iden's lab, the bus lifts off, and once you input the coordinates, it pretty much flies itself, and you end up outside this.
One simply does not walk into Mordor.
It appears that Tiberius was right when it looked like Iden had built upon his original facility with more stonework. So the bus automatically docks onto that long pier, and several individuals come out of the opening and just calmly walk towards you. They all appear to be human, wearing white robes that look like haven't been in the wash for a couple of months. So they used to be white, but now they're kind of gray.
Hello, routine inspection from Institute blah 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 blah.
Yes, we will fetch the master, and they kind of beckon for you guys to follow. Or rather, we will bring you to the master. Sorry.
What else can we see? Five would like to kind of search around, poke at things.
At the moment, unless you go inside, all you can see is what's in the picture.
Yeah, it won't let me see the picture. It's covered up, like most of it's covered up by this random black box for some reason.
Okay, that's odd.
I've been having trouble with Roll20, like Ben was saying.
It actually basically, Tommy was right. It does look like a Fortress of Mordor. Big gray stone edifices kind of covering up a cliffside. And most of it seems to just lead to passages further in. Apparently, Iden did not like the science motif.
Alright. Dealing with the Dark Lord. Gotcha. Alright.
I'm gonna lean into Fi and go. Is this how most organics react when given a position of power?
Well, you'd be right surprised, wouldn't you?
I am right surprised. That's why. That's why I'm asking.
You. So are you guys maybe just staying on the pier, thinking you're gonna let this item come to you, or are you gonna follow the group that seem to be beckoning you further inwards?
I'll
Well,
follow.
character-wise, I would keep going because I'm kind of curious what's going on at this place.
All right.
I mean, we are supposedly inspectors. That's our cover story. So, yeah.
Is
Yes,
Erdo,
I is going to inspect. For faith.
Okay.
I
As you go further in, the stone starts to kind of intermix with metal. Looks like maybe parts of the original facility were dismantled to create the larger building. Actually, I was about to say, Erdo and Phi can make a. For Erdo, it's going to be hard. For Phi, it's going to be daunting lore check.
What? That's racist.
I thought it would be sexist, but okay. Oh!
That's forcist.
Wow.
You know what? I don't think I'm even going to bother rolling at this point. Erdo's already owned the check.
Yeah, jeez, double triumph. Alright. Well, for the successes, you can identify... Oh, I know what to do with that. For the success, you're able to identify the architecture as kind of a early human, but whenever it comes to a patch that's kind of centered around one of the bits of metal, it kind of twists itself into a Rakatan architecture by itself. And every time you get by one of these bits of metal, you can just feel something incredibly off. Like, it's not just metal placed there for the sake of being metal.
Now I know that system's online.
okay, can he try Force Sense?
Somebody that's in that, in the business.
Alright.
In that business.
Yeah, I'm still going to keep applying that double try, so just go ahead and roll. Alright. You're able to... you detect the group in front of you, the one that's been leading you. They from your sense, they appear to be there and alive, but they're not reading the same kind of level as the rest of the group you're with. So they just feel, again, off. They actually kind of feel less than they should be. Like their energy has been drained. And then you can kind of sense you're all dancing around the edge of a void.
That's, but you can't get in that system.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah. At the moment, there are no doors have shut behind you. The way out is clear.
Well,
But you
everything
can
looks to be
continue-
in order. Here is our stamp of approval, 100 on the cleanliness scale. Bye.
Oh no.
We can't leave so early. We want to find out, like some
We've only
reason.
seen one hallway. Where's your sense of adventure? We need to
All
give
right.
this place a thorough once-over.
Okay, so do you want to turn back? Or you want to keep going after everything aired out?
That was more of a player thing. As a character, let's all just stick together, though.
Oh
Alright.
yeah.
The group leads you towards what appears just to be a large chamber, and in the center appears to be another robed figure with kind of long black hair, with a few graying bits, and he kind of turns towards you and you can see that his beard is actually nicely trimmed, but has the same kind of gray patches that his hair does. And he looks towards you and looks kind of half surprised, half frustrated, and goes, "Oh yes, the inspection team. I didn't expect you to show up so quickly. Usually, the Institute appears to be more interested in the other doctors' work. Please come in. But Erdo, you see behind him, like he's standing in the center of the room. You guys are on one end, and at the other end is a very large circular structure. And given the fact that you were already focusing on Ricotta work, he's standing in front of a force gate. It's not on. It just appears to be a big giant stone ring standing on the floor. But you're able to identify it as one of the ancient Rakata methods of transportation between planets.
Oh, an infinity gate.
Oh yeah, that's what it's
Ooh.
called. But it's one of those.
So I'll go, hello, you must be Aiden? It's a pleasure to meet you, and I must say, you've done some interesting things with the research space we've granted you. I'll walk up and I'll shake his hand.
And he meets it and shakes it a bit, but you can tell it's kind of weak. Actually, everyone but Rock, make a hard resilience check.
Oh, I have to actually look this up.
And Erdo, you can take a boost. I mean, Kale can roll with a boost. All right. Okay. All right. Yeah, just take that threat as strain, and Kyle, Phi takes 5 strain, ignoring soak. Erdo does 2, but you're able to identify that whatever's kind of like draining your energy, it's coming from Aiden.
So have you managed to activate?
Any of those guys that you know from that race?
Oh, yes. This wondrous achievement of mine, yes, I am. Would you like me to show you?
I think that. Yes, sure.
We would love to see.
All right.
I'm sorry, it kind of broke up. What was the question that Edo asked?
He was wondering if the Aiden could activate the portal, Infinity Gate.
Well, Ragesh has no idea what that is, but he's like, I don't feel so well right now. Like, what happens when we have this strain? Like, what do we sense?
It just, for everyone except Erdo, it kind of feels like you just ran a certain distance. Like for Rogesh, it might be you just ran 2 miles and just kind of tired.
Okay, that's a little bit freaky.
Erdo, yeah, for Faye, it obviously feels like she ran farther, and Erdo takes the same amount of strain, but he's able to identify that it's not just like from some natural exhaustion. Aiden's somehow doing it.
Okay, here's. Erdo's going to hold out his hand and say, wait, before you activate it, why are you draining our energy?
He's what?
What? I don't know what you're talking about. It's just, I'm not, I don't, he just seems confused.
He's a moron.
Aiden, you're draining life energy?
I
How
would
is that
like
possible?
to roll against his stupidity. I mean, his deception as a discipline. See if he's lying.
All right. You're able. It is actually just going to be 2 purple. Actually, yep, 2 purple. Post check.
I'm not going to let go of his hand, because this is disconcerting. If he's hurting my
apparently
hand.
everyone's shaking his hand now.
Well, I haven't let go yet.
Yeah,
so
you did say he can extend another hand. He seems kind of like scatterbrained. According to you, he's not lying. He seems genuinely confused over what Erdo was saying.
What the hell's going on here?
Erdo's going to move to the side and distinguish if it's him directly or the portal. And also, does he seem drained in the same way that everyone else is?
No. He seems scatterbrained, but he seems just like a normal person.
Okay.
And he looks as you back away. He's like, "Do you still want me to show you the portal?"
No.
I'm going to ask him, Aiden, what exactly are you working on here?
Oh, it's just the force, of course. It's such an astounding power. I told the Institute I might be able to expand everyone's capabilities in using it. And look, he like shuffles you over. Well, he's trying to tug at you, but he's obviously
I'll
weaker
move
than you.
with him.
Okay, and so he tugs you over to this table that kind of looks like a cross between a regular doctor's table and an alchemist's study, and he shows like this small open box of what looks like just regular dust, and he runs his hand over. It's like, I've modified this spice in a special combination. Anyone who takes it should be able to feel, like really feel, and they should be able to expand their capabilities. And well, I know it's not what I promised, but it's progress, isn't it? Shouldn't the Institute be satisfied? I mean, I know I've taken up, but look, my assistants, they've been helping me faithfully.
Aiden, calm down. I'm going to look back to Erdo and then to Phi. I'm just going to look at them, and I'm going to give them somewhat of a concerned look, and ask him, do you recognize anything? Do you recognize the technology he's working with here? It's Ricotta?
Planets without passing through the stars.
I'm going to look at Aiden not very, very upset, but just reasonably upset. This is not what we agreed upon, Aiden. This is not what the Institute gave you these resources for. And you're researching into Ricotta technology.
But the Ricotta were so advanced. Their technology, even though it's been thousands of years, and yet we're still inferior to this.
Aiden, they ruled for thousands of years with cruelty, and begat horrors far beyond anything we can understand. We are shutting you down. You are done.
You can't. Everyone roll now. A daunting resilience check.
Hold on, before he even finishes.
Oh gosh.
Everyone can now feel that it seems Aiden's drawing in more of your strength.
So we got, because I really wanted to say something. But what was the roll?
What? I'm sorry. What did you want to ask him?
Yeah, I kind of wanted to ask him as far as like what was he doing for the, what kind of research what was he doing with this research, and can he give us an example of it? But
he just points to the portal. It's like that is my magnum opus. The best manifestation of my work. If I can show you, it would take you to worlds unseen.
So this dust that you said that gives people powers or abilities, how do you know that? Have you tested it on someone?
Yes, my assistants. They told me they were really able to feel one another for the first time. They were able to truly understand.
When he says assistants, is he talking about someone who's there or somebody who's just not there anymore?
Oh, he's gesturing over to the research assistants of the group that brought you in. They're still standing by the entrance that you guys came in.
And they're kind of like brain dead, right?
They're just standing there motionless. Their eyes are kind of glazed over.
Okay,
There are certain drugs that stimulate the or are thought.
Kale, I'm not sure if it's just me, but I can.
Yeah,
barely
you're
hear
breaking
you.
up. I can get it. I'm hearing it too. I can only get bits and pieces.
I'll type.
Everyone who failed take the 5 strain, and then threat is just extra.
Do you
1
want?
strain per.
Do you need me to roll again?
What was the roll?
No. You don't need to roll. It's force related, so droids are fine.
Whoa. Okay, that's
What
quite a
was the
lot.
roll?
It's a daunting resilience check, Hank.
So,
So there's no way that he could give us a sample of this dust?
Oh no, he showed Rock just a small box of it. It kind of just looks like a box of
I'm gonna
spice
get the
that
box.
someone looked.
Well, we can get it after we can confiscate it after we're done shutting him down. Anything to do with the Ricotta Infinite Empire?
I don't know if we really want to shut him down right now. I mean, but I'm gonna definitely get the box.
Hawk, it doesn't matter. Anything to deal with the Ricotta Empire is nothing that the Institute should be concerned with. It is a legacy of just death and destruction that the Institute does not need. This needs to be stopped now.
No, we need to wait and get some more evidence before we get into fight, we don't know what kind of domino effects this is going to happen if we stop him right now. We can always come back. I mean, if it's something that we need to do, we can do it. But right now, we still need to get some more information. That's just my opinion before we start
Um,
getting into a fight.
like, well, this is just character-wise. I've gotten so exhausted, I'm freaked out. I'm like, whatever we need to do, we need to shut this down right now because I'm about to pass out and I don't even know what's going on. This is
We need
way too freaky.
stop. We need everyone to calm down. Eden, we need you to calm down.
He's actually, yeah, he's backing away, kind of. He's trying to take deep breaths, but it's not working. Erdo can actually feel that, yeah, he is indeed drawing on like the life energy of the group. Though from what you know, he seems to not be knowing that he's actually doing this. So, given that check, yeah, you go ahead. If you want, you can roll a charm check, and it's just going to be average.
Knock him out and question him later when he's not next to this portal.
Yeah, I
Maybe-
think
Okay, all right. From what?
Maybe we can take him out of this room. Maybe we said that we need to give him to sign some paperwork on the ship or something like that.
Erdo is able to calm down Aiden. He's able to finally get a hold of his breath, and Erdo can sense that, well, the energy certainly hasn't gone back. He's no longer sucking it in like a frickin' force vacuum cleaner.
So we're not going to shut down your research necessarily, but we are going to have a very thorough investigation because it appears that everyone but you is having an adverse reaction to this technology, including your research assistants. Look at them. They're practically zombies.
But I just thought they were better.
I
They
didn't.
helped me. They didn't complain. They were quiet. They helped me study.
They don't even have the initiative to complain anymore, Aidan.
Oh
There's
God.
serious problems with research.
I just wanted to make everything better. I could do so much. I wanted others to do the same, but oh God, you're right. And he kind of huddles onto himself, kind of like a fetal position.
I'll walk up to him. I'll sort of pick him up and go. It's all right, Aidan. We'll discuss how to get your research back on track in a little while. Come with us. We'll take care of you. We'll take care of your research assistants. Make sure you're all well enough to continue to continue research for the institute, just perhaps in a different direction than this technology. This we can revisit at a much later date after we've worked out the safety concerns. But right now, our primary objective is making sure you and your research assistants are well enough to continue to work. Please come with us. And I'll just sort of put my hand around his shoulder and help usher him towards the exit to the room.
He gets up and kind of weakly follows you on your way out. I assume no one wants to stay in here for that much longer.
No.
If I would actually like to examine the gate.
I mean, I'm definitely getting the box. So.
Okay, so Hawk gets the box, Fi gets closer to the gate. It is going to be, what did I give you before? A daunting check? For you to better inspect it, I'd say it's either going to be another daunting lore roll or formidable education.
Also, Hawk is going to look for any other technology that would be useful.
Roll me a daunting perception check. Okay, and you know what? I wanted to flip for that, but oh well, time's passed. As Fi gets closer and you start looking at the stuff that's inscribed on the gate, what kind of stone it's made of, its general construction, you aren't able to glean how the hell this thing works. And as you start spending a bit more time around it, it kind of groans, like kind of one of those structural, the house is settling groans. As for Hawk, no, everything in here aside from what was kind of on the tables appears to be kind of archaic. There doesn't seem to be eternal. There are work notes, but they're books.
What was
Let's
on the
see,
table
for
again?
Hawk. Ooh, that's a tough one. You don't find anything, but you get a triumph. Man, I'm having a trouble with this one. Anyone got any ideas? Even though it's kind of hard to do it for a perception check.
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess
You know
kind of
what?
what's
You know
kind of hard.
what? I'll go ahead and say for the triumph, as you're looking around, you don't find anything, but you do. Crap. You know what? This kind of stumped me because I'm not sure how to deal with triumphs or perception checks for like that.
It doesn't have to be related to the perception check.
I
You
know,
can just
but
say
I'm still
something
trying to
happened.
branch it out, and it's still not working. Okay, yeah, you know what? That's a good one. As you're looking around, you don't find anything, but as you get back closer to the research assistants, you're able to kind of see past their glazed expression, and you recognize that one of them, and just one of the many times you start perusing the bounty database, one of them does have a bounty on them.
Oh, awesome.
Apparently, they're one of those mad doctors that ran a chop shop, but fled from the cops, and apparently ended up here.
Okay.
And
How
fate
much is
has not been
how much is
kind.
this bounty?
Roll me a 1d10.
One. Okay. So can someone do that? Oh, I can just do the 100, the percentile. Does that work?
No, I'll go ahead and just roll for you.
Okay.
Okay, 500 credits.
Okay. Dead or alive?
It seems like they wanted him alive.
Alive. Okay.
Yeah.
Who's with the bounty for? Is it a local bounty? I mean,
Yeah, it's
bounty?
for it's just a basic Outer Rim world. He's very infamous on the planet, but otherwise he's kind of small fry.
Okay. I'm gonna go to him. To like, so you are his assistant, correct?
He just stares at you blankly. His mouth doesn't seem to be able to move.
Oh wow. So are you? He doesn't like he can follow commands or anything like that, correct?
You want to try?
I mean, just by looking at him, would I be able to tell if he's just like overcome by some kind of force that's controlling his mind?
You can't tell by looking at him, no.
All right. I tell him that part of our research that that one of the assistants has to go with the doctor, so I think you're going to be it.
He still just keeps staring at you. Seems
Okay,
like
so I'm
it's
just
like
gonna-
he's looking right through you.
Okay, so we're just going to kind of easily drag him along then.
As you start dragging, he doesn't resist, but you still have to deal with the fact that he's not helping, but he's not hurting either. So you are just gonna have to pretty much just drag the full weight of a person.
All right. Can I, the doctor, I want to ask him, is there any way that you can, what's wrong with this guy? Why is he not able to work off of verbal commands and stuff like that? What's going on with him?
The Iden's just like they're always so helpful. I don't know why. He's just as confused as you are as to why why he's doing that. In fact, he is also some kind of complex as to why you're taking him in the first place.
Yes, why are you taking that particular research assistant? We should be ushering them all out to get them to somewhere where they can be well again.
Yep, you're right. I'm gonna see if I can just gather up all of them then.
And I'll help walk them out. But I'm going to stick particularly close to Iden.
Apparently, Erdo wants to go back to the gate. Yes, you can. You can investigate it if you want. It's going to be a hard lore, but it's going to be upgraded once naturally, and I'll flip a destiny point if you actually want to do it. So it'll be 2 red, 1 purple if you actually want to roll. But you also have to spend more time with the creepy gate.
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right.
2 red, 1 purple.
Yeah, and I guess Phi is going to give you a boost.
Okay, here it goes.
In fact, also,
Nice.
okay. But for your proximity to the gate, roll an average resilience check, both of you,
Oh
both
dear.
Phi and Erdo.
Do I still get a boost?
I say for the advantage, yeah, you might be a bit more aware, and I'll tell you what you see in the first place. Oh wow. Actually, turn that for that failure. Only take 1 strain.
Okay.
You're able to with the sheer force of will fight back against the gate, and Phi just takes 2. All right, for your successes, you can see that this is it's gibberish Rakatan. It looks like Iden just scribbled on the gate with his own knowledge of whatever the Rakata were saying. You're able to translate it as just a nonsense words. Each rune by itself apparently is a word, but strung together they don't say anything. It's just gobbledygook. Not even that. It doesn't even mention anything edible. It's like stone, path, open, door. It seems like whatever he thought might, cause the gate to direct itself somewhere, he put on it. But it's just a bunch of words revolving around door motif.
Interesting. Erdo would like Phi to help him identify whatever's in the box.
Oh, I already said what's in the box. Or the books. So you're talking about the books.
No, the box. He said what's in the box, but Erdo's gonna. Erdo at this point thinks it's some kind of hallucinogen.
I guess that'd be medicine. So yeah, hard medicine check.
So Hawk is gonna look at you like, what are you gonna do?
I just need to figure out, or would like to figure out what it is. Can I look at a small sample?
As long as you don't destroy it. If you destroy it,
No, not interested in destroying it.
Actually, and also along with that hard, I'm going to add 2 setbacks since you're really just using your eyes and fingers for this.
All right. Yeah, definitely.
Does Phi have medicine at all?
Nope.
We talking about we don't have a medic. Hawk is just like panicking right now. Goodness gracious.
You left your medic on the Sunflare with the droid.
Oh no.
All right, you are unable to divine the substance.
How many vials is it?
Let's see. For just that small box, I'd say 10.
Oh, excellent.
Quick question though. Aren't you using the physician's kit that would give you a boost on top of the boost that you got from Faye?
But hey, does he have this? Oh yeah.
Erdo does have a physician's kit, but would that help with analysis? I mean, it's designed to patch people back together, not for like chemical analysis of. I don't know. Maybe.
Did any of the setback what did the setback roll?
A threat and a failure, but I could just roll a boost die and see if that.
No, well, for the physician's kit, because I only gave you that because you didn't have the right tools. I think for a physician's kit, I'd say maybe you could use some of it for analysis. So I'd say that would maybe take 1 setback off. But yeah, but if you had a forensics kit, I would say you could take both of them off and maybe add a boost. I'd say if it rolled blank, I'll say you had your original check will have one success. If it comes up with a failure, it seems like it just mitigate.
Okay, sounds cool.
All right, you did succeed then in the world of past, and yeah, you're able to recognize that this is apparently based off spice, and if ingested, it would probably cause a person's nervous system to go into overdrive. You're not entirely sure how that would relate to them being able to feel other people, but then again, the more specific components of the drug you're not really able to analyze.
Okay, and one more question. Can Erdo feel whether Idan is sensitive to the Force or not? Or
Yeah, you're able, from your initial, you actually feel him as kind of like that void, but also like you. So he's kind of like a Force user, maybe dark, but also kind of just not really there. Yeah, I guess a wound in the Force kind of comes close to it, but yeah, you can kind of feel some Force sensitivity off of him.
So, Eldo, is this something illegal or illegal or?
it seems to be spice. So it would probably, I mean, if you're looking to sell it, it would probably fetch a good price.
You see Hawk kind of smile.
I think we're done here. We should just get them all someplace safer.
Sounds good to me.
All right, there is plenty of room on your hover bus to put them for now. You can either go back to the base and kind of drop them off, but then again, you'd have to leave it up to Tiberius, who may be busy, or you can leave them on the bus as you continue your investigation.
You know, I mean, player-wise, that sounds great. Character-wise, not so great. I wouldn't trust these, like, guys, especially Aiden, sitting on a bus. We may come back and they're just, like, dust.
Is
All
there a
right.
time concern?
As far as you know, no.
So let's drop them off back at the main facility.
Actually, I'll retcon that. It's kind of a time concern in your favor, because you basically only need to keep the ruse going as long as it takes for Balken and Tiberius to find a way into the central tower.
Perfect.
So yeah, you're stalling. So when you go back to the base, Tiberius and Balken don't seem to meet you, but a couple of astromechs and a protocol droid meet you, and the protocol droid kind of gives you a nod and goes, "Sir Tiberius is busy with the Master. However, we did not expect you to return without the Master calling you. Is there a reason for your return?"
These subjects had some interesting side effects from Dr. Idan's experiments. We need to get a full workup on all of them, including the doctor.
Yes. Oh, very well. Tiberius was always curious as to what Iden was actually doing. Come, and he ushers for the astromechs to kind of corral the group, and he leads them back into the base proper. He goes, "We will try to analyze what exactly has gone wrong with them. Please continue on your diversion."
Any further experiments by Dr. Idan should be observed by a droid.
We shall make sure of that. And I'll go ahead and put up the list again, since you guys still need to kill some time for them. I have removed Iden, since you have completely disabled his facility. At least from him working in it. You now have 5 choices.
Say artificial communities. That's just Rock's curiosity.
Tiberius is not here to answer your questions, so it's all up to your
Yeah,
guess.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
All right. Oh, sorry, had to eat something there. You fly over. The bus takes you over, and you end up at what appears to be a very surprisingly big city. Far off, kind of near the middle. Oh, yeah, sorry. During your trip over, it does take a couple hours. You can roll to recover strain.
While we're riding too, real quick, Hawk is gonna ask Ildo, why do people want you? What's this thing, bounty or whatever you have on your head?
Like he's gonna really answer that to Hawk.
You never know.
For the sake of the fact that the trip was so long, I'm going to go ahead and say for this, you can use advantage as well as successes to recover strain.
Cool.
Oh, cool.
The bench seats were uncomfortable. Oh, and for that triumph, since I'll be fair enough that last encounter was a really strain eater, I'm surprised none of you passed out. I'll go ahead and say you can use that to. You did actually fall asleep on the bench seats, much to everyone's surprise, and I'll let you recover 1d4. Might as well add a little randomness to this. 1d4 of strain. So hope you roll high. Oh, and you did. All right. So that's 9 strain back for you. I need to make sure these hover buses become more uncomfortable in the future. But anyway, you arrive at a very surprisingly big city that does not seem to accommodate organics at all. It's very closed, structured. There are only little ports here and there that allow what you can see is droids moving back and forth. You come to the center, what appears to be a very large hub. That actually does have the only landing port you've been able to see for the bus, and it lands and lets you off. And what immediately you walk into when you get off the bus is what looks like a giant forum with just a bunch of here and there droids, but looks like data banks just kind of arrayed along the walls. And in the center are like 5 holograms that are just shouting at one another. In binary. Does anyone? I'll say Rock can. Okay, so Faye gets it, and I'll say Rock knows it too. But does anyone else speak binary?
Not me.
All right. So Faye and Rock, you can hear that apparently the holograms are arguing, and they are not happy over the situation that apparently is going on in the city. 3 of them are complaining that the city has become too cramped, and because they are not allowed to expand on the planet, they should leave. Another one is complaining that we might as well just talk to the Institute and have them clear us for further expansion. And the last one is you always can if you want. And the last one is saying that we shouldn't try and go to other worlds or expand, but instead just leave as a collective unit and perhaps just become a moving city that can always expand when it just, a giant, basically, siege ship. And you can see against the far wall is another droid, the droid in the top left corner of the screen, and he's just sitting in the chair. And from what little facial expressions you can see on his face, he doesn't look very happy. But then he finally sees you and just presses a button on his chair, and the holograms turn off, and suddenly it's silent. And then he just stands up from his chair and goes, the Institute's investigation. I am sorry you had to see that. And he paces around the side of the room over several of the databanks, and the droids that were there appear to have just moved on all of a sudden, like they might be sensing trouble. And he goes towards you guys, and he just gives a polite nod, and and then gestures out to the city, and he goes, I hope you have enjoyed the quick sight of my artificial community and my experiment unfolding.
Truly is a magnificent city, and you are PC-003. You are the research leader here.
Yes, I am. I came to the Institute with my own, after I had discovered their existence, and I proposed to them to provide me with the resources required to create a community specifically for droids and other artificial beings, so that we may try and develop cooperatively.
I am very, very interested in what experiments you have here. Would you please lead a tour through your magnificent city?
Oh, yes. Well, at the moment, and then an astromech comes up. Actually, an astromech and the droid you see in the top right come forward, and they say, in binary, again, he was speaking to you in basic that time, but now it's reverted to binary. They suddenly go, PC, how dare you? How dare you entertain these organics while our city is in crisis? You need to solve this problem, not entertain guests.
I'll reply back in binary. Crisis? What is the crisis going on here?
PC looks at the droids, and his eyes turn a very, very bright red as he just extends his arm and waves them off. And the droid, the asterisk immediately wheels away, like he didn't even want to be there in the first place, and the droid with the very weird-looking head just kind of turns away in a huff, a bit offended. And PC looks back at Rock, and he goes, I'm afraid I did not want the Institute to be made aware of this, but it's the cat, what's the organic expression? The cat's out of the bag?
Yes, I believe that is appropriate. What is going on? What is causing the crisis in your facility?
The Institute's limitations on the size of my sub-facility has now become more of a hindrance than what could be seen as a gift to all droid kind. We've now become so large and so popular that the sub-facility can no longer contain the amount of intelligences within. And the Institute thus far has actually been unwilling to listen to my proposals of expansion.
Well, I can assure you that I certainly am not. What is the word? Your words do not fall on deaf ears, friend. As you lead me through the city, I will see if there's anything that I will. Please lead me through the city, and I will. I would like to gather as much information as I can to propose an expansion for your city. And in fact, there is a large expansive facility that may be opening up soon and may become available for you to expand.
Oh, really? What? Which? How did you find the room? What facility is closing?
Well, we don't need to get into the particulars of that right now, since nothing is set in stone, as organics tend to say. But please, don't worry with yourself. Don't worry yourself about that now. Lead us to the city and allow us to gaze in its magnificence and bathe in its glory, so that we may go back to our superiors at the Institute and tell them to give you the expansions you need. For being a free droid myself, I sympathize with your plight, and I am truly marveled by all that you have accomplished.
Hawk is going to ask him, like, what was his ideas that the community is refuting.
Well, I simply wanted us to get more room and more access to raw materials. This planet is, it's not very suitable to droid colonization. Too much organic material that clogs our faster processes.
So basically, you just want to stay here, and some people want to leave. Is that correct?
Well, they want to leave because the Institute will not clear the proposals I have that will allow for the city to expand. A wide swath of the land needs to be cleared of organic material, and more raw material from off-planet needs to be brought in.
So what is your problem with them leaving?
The Institute will not allow me to condone such a mass exodus. Building this place alone took a massive amount of resources. The resources
So you're
needed to
basically
leave.
saying that they're slaves then, right?
Slaves!
Hawk,
He-
mind your words. These are free droids living in the only city made only and especially for them.
Well, they're not free if they can't leave it when they want to.
There is a difference between barring a mass exodus and literally an evacuation of a city of this magnitude, and all the information and all of the data that can be processed from this, and the model that they're building here, and induced slavery.
So where's your office at?
I
we're in
am of organics and their concepts. I am me. I am my office. I don't have an official gathering place. All these crude structures you may think as buildings are really just large data warehouses where intelligences may move freely between host bodies. So in other words, there is no office. You're pretty much talking to him here.
I got you.
Yes. Basically, the city of an in response to that question, he will just gesture around to the city as at large. This is what we've created. I started with a simple sub-facility that contained one data storage component and several bits of extra processing that could be used to create more intelligences. I have expanded it to this. No, there is no data pad available that will have the amount that can contain the amount of knowledge he has generated.
Well, I mean, I'm going to hint to him that, I'm okay with taking at least one droid off planet. So.
There are thousands of droids that are part of these factions at which, even with the technical specs, it's still stretching it, especially since the buildings are kind of networked together.
So,
actually,
if these AI constructs are bickering like this, mayhaps you have given them too much freedom.
They have been given a level of freedom that organics choose and truly take for granted, Phi. After all, would you... Oh.
If only we could make most organics more subservient.
I will neither affirm nor defirm that statement. But perhaps, PC, we can gather a number of the faction leaders who seek to leave the city and attempt to put their fears to rest by assuring them that there will be strong consideration and strong movement forward in expanding your city.
That would be most agreeable, but what proof can you provide them? The ones that wish to leave will need to be convinced with hard facts.
I can take them on we can show them the schematics of a large enough area that you will be allowed to expand into. And with regards to the space that I said that may be opening up, we will be reducing one of the researchers' working space, just due to outside interferences and outside problems. But that space would be better utilized with you and your experiment.
That is interesting. If the space is already cleared, does Phi really want to ask that, or are you asking that as a subheading?
I was asking.
Well, one of the droids that was at that meeting before he turned them off did want them all to get in the ship. But the problem is the ship itself would have to be massive to store all their constructs. The logistics of building a ship are possible, but the demands would require not only the complete dismantling of the city in the process, but even more raw materials that we need the Institute to approve. As for your suggestion, ROCK4, I
Please,
believe...
you call me wrong.
Well, then you're just killing minds then. Anyway, yes, PC can see some ideas in your plan, and he agrees to re-summon the leadership for you to discuss that with. But he says it will be difficult to convince all of them that an expansion has been approved and that there is no more need for such internal strife.
We don't need to convince all of them at this moment, PC. We only need to convince a few of them, and the others soon. Once the progress is seen and their faith rewarded, they will begin to understand and they will begin to agree, and they will choose to stay rather than leave.
Hawk is also going to look and see if there's anything valuable.
Well, on the tech side, it's all around you, but there don't seem to be individual pieces you can like break off and take with you. Everything around you seems like it would fetch a good price on any kind of tech market, but there just doesn't seem to be anything that you would actually be able to take, at least from as far as you can see. Not unless you're talking about a droid, but then that would be kidnapping.
Unless they volunteer to come.
Well, I'll just queue up another formidable check. See if Rock can't pull that out of his butt. Regardless, unless you want to propose another plan specifically to PC, he will try to. He will try to just summon the leadership back.
I don't see any. I'll look back to the rest of the investigators. And do any of you have any input or ideas on how to alleviate this crisis, other than approving expansion?
Well, do all of the droids need physical bodies? Couldn't their data be uploaded into a physical drive of some sort?
The drive
could
would be
exist within
required to store so much data from so much raw consciousness would be immense. And even then, some droids may not want to do it, fearing that they might not emerge fully whole.
No. I wasn't thinking about the Miata.
Just brainstorming. Have they tried to go down? Can they build underground or something like that?
We've hit the mantle. We're in fact using that as power instead of any sort of device the Institute has provided.
What about up?
Well, then we get atmospheric limitations. Once we hit space, we're vulnerable to radiation. Not to mention, then we just come across structural problems, and the buildings would not be able to keep themselves up.
We could always start testing out less ethical things to cull the population.
Fie. I'm surprised at you that you would make such a.
If Fi wants to ponder it to herself, she can make. I'd say
I
just
will ponder to myself.
All right, just make a hard computers check. The power to do what you're suggesting is provided by the city itself.
What about a space station with a tether, a beanstalk?
Then we come across the limitations that the Institute has put upon us.
Well, we will certainly recommend your experiment for expansion.
Well, I hope so. The promise of an institute investigation team may be enough to quell these problems.
I hope it will be PC, and I do hope that I will push and do everything in my power to make sure that this expansion goes through for you, and I will do everything in my power to make sure that you and the people of your city get everything they need.
But we cannot. We simply this community can grow towards forever as long as artificial intelligences need a place to call their own. He says, responding to Fi. She's speaking out loud.
If your expansion goes through and your city truly flourishes in a way that no other has, we may be able to bring this up to the Imperial Senate and see if we can't secure a planetoid solely for droids.
The Imperial Senate? I thought they were disbanded.
Well, to whatever Imperial government is in power.
To the Emperor?
Well, if this truly what you've done here warrants the effort to try.
I doubt they would.
Like out of character, a droid planet that is solely for droids could be a massive manufacturing facility. Its main industry could be a manufacturing facility. It could be a planetoid that is an entire shipyard, much in the way that the Kuat drive yards are.
Well, yeah, but that would just be a big droid slavery pit.
Well, but
I mean, do you really think that Rock would actually say something along those lines? Like, he would know that the Empire would be...
I understand that the Empire would definitely would attempt to use it for nefarious purposes and things like that, but the idea of a sole city planet devoted for droids and artificial intelligences is something that Rock would very much be interested in.
Well, yeah, absolutely, but one that is not created under the auspices of the Empire sounds like a much better alternative. Like, why would you ever tell the Empire about this?
Well, they have the resources available to make such an undertaking possible.
I don't know. I mean, don't you think that Rock would rather see the droids, pull themselves up by their own bootstraps and like make it on their own? Because the Empire would absolutely enslave them all.
That is true. And it is true that Rock would want to see them, build up like any other civilization, but.
Well, hey, I mean, maybe that could be something that you work with. You call the Empire, and it's like, hey, there's a droid civilization, and then it's completely enslaved. And it's like, oops.
Oh yeah, that could be bad. All right, so I'll rescind.
That could be a lot of money, though. You never thought about that, huh?
Well, it would cost a lot of money. And really the only organizations that have the funding for that would be either like a banding together of all of the Hutt clans or some large criminal organizations or the Empire. Oh well, I'm going to think on it a little bit more, but I'm definitely like as an out of character, and then out of this module thing. Any chance Rock has to further an exodus to a droid city planet where they are recognized as a sentient planet and as a sentient power in the galaxy, Rock's going to actively pursue to make that dream come true. Rock has found a new purpose.
Now make sure to warn them about the automated defense satellites.
Oh yes.
All right, so you've had that discussion, and I'll let you recant the promises about Imperial support. But we now have PC ready to summon the faction leaders back. Do you have something you want to tell them?
Yes, I do. I want to let them know that, based on our investigations around their city and with the experiment and how it's going, that more space is necessary for the expansion and for the true grandiose nature of the experiment to continue to thrive, and for their city and for their civilization to thrive, and that even if my other investigators choose not to support as strongly as I do, that I will do everything in my power to convince the Institute to to give them that land grant, to give them more resources, and to grant them more space.
Okay, I'll say that was your initial point. Phi, yes, but you're going to have to make a stealth roll first. And two of the faction leaders, basically in the faction that just wanted to colonize, they appear appeased, but the other three appear unconvinced. You can roll now to try and put more weight behind that speech. Let's see, it would be against their discipline, which is just 2, but I think it's going to be 3 setback die for each one that's not convinced.
So my leadership is 2 green. So it's 2 and then 3 setbacks, you said?
Yes, but they will retort that each one of their plans is better, and if you're able to rebut those to my satisfaction, I'll let you turn those setback either canceled or into boosts.
All right. What are their arguments?
The last one of the colonization faction is pointing out it wants to see how you respond to the fact that the planet itself is finite. So even if you're able to get the Institute to clear expansion globally, what will happen when we just run out of space planet-wise?
It's an interesting question, and it truly is something that must be considered when considering the future of any civilization. By the time the Institute does grant you a full global land grant for this planet, and if you find that eventually the civilization grows beyond those borders, there are many planets in wild space that are flush with resources and full of wide open expanses ripe for colonization. So to put a sort of a finite point on it, they can colonize to other planets in wild space and continue to grow their civilization. Much in the same way.
The problem is that was that faction's original point. They just wanted to do it now instead of just expanding and expanding and expanding until they finally ran out of room and then had to leave.
Well, every great civilization has a home world, has a base, has a stable rock that they pull from and expand from. And right now you have a city, and while it is a good solid foundation, they don't quite have the resources and the pull necessary to just get up and leave. So they should continue to work with the experiments, building their civilization here. And once it is built to that scale to where they have to expand, then they should, because then if the expansions fail, they will still have a civilization here that will continue on well past them and can continue to try and colonize other places and to continue their God dag nabbit, I had the word, to continue their civilization and to continue the work that they've done here.
I will also add here, the Institute has defense satellites that would blow out of the sky if you didn't have permission to leave. Just as a common sense kind of thing.
Okay. It seems like you kind of branched that out into a homeworld philosophy, which kind of works against all of theirs. So I'm going to say you were able to convince the last colonization guy to drop his opposition but not support you. The siege ship guy drops support and actually moves in favor of you, but and I actually completely forgot that third guy's last point. But I'm gonna say, crap. That's not really fair, is it? To say I can't remember it, but then keep the setback. So you know what? I'll be fair and say that guy drops his opposition too, but doesn't give you a boost.
Alrighty.
So it is just going to be. Did I already say average?
Yep, you did.
Okay, yeah. It's going to be an average with a boost, and I'm going to upgrade.
All right, so it'll be. Then I'll spend. What's up?
If no one doesn't give assistance, I will.
Well,
Seems like Fi's giving her leadership.
Okay.
so right now my pool is 1 green, 1 yellow, 1 blue, against 1 purple, 1 red. I was going to flip the light side to make that 2 yellow.
Do it.
Does anyone have better leadership or than Fi, or is?
You have to make the roll, man.
Well, I know I have to make the roll, but first the skilled assistant.
I think.
Yeah, I have one.
I think the RP has landed where it may.
Okay. Then let's see where the dice fall.
Okay. The faction leaders just nod. 2 of them actually give an applaud, and the holograms fade. And PC, who appeared to be jacked into the city itself while the conversation was going, just gets up and gives Rock a good nod, and he goes, "You have finally assuaded so many rotations of strife. I'm very grateful." And
It was my pleasure, PC.
Rock's attempt to go through his database for inspirational speech, I'm going to say that one threat is just strain.
Okay.
Hawk is going to tap Rock on the shoulder and like, ask them if they have any money. Oh, and ask them if they have any weapons.
I'm gonna give Hawk an incredibly confused and hurt look. Like, what? I'm just gonna say, we'll discuss it later.
You're just asking a question. Do they have any money? Do they have any
Hawk,
weapons?
we will discuss it later. That is it.
I don't understand.
You don't need to understand right now. Trust me. We'll discuss it later. So, yeah, I'm all good here. Like, that was awesome.
So, before we leave, I'm going to ask them if they have any weapons.
And PC seems kind of offended. It's like, we are a peaceful community.
Yeah, you still have to defend yourself. So that's the no then. You don't have
The
any
Institute
weapons.
provides our defense. For the time being, he says, as he looks at Rock. And since you have now solved this facility's problem of the week, PC is willing to give you a full tour if you believe the investigation warrants it, or you may continue elsewhere, since PC is very willing to just say you guys looked.
I personally, like, Rock would want a personal tour. PC is there any way, if my friends continue with the investigation, if I may have a tour, is there any way back to sort of is there any way back to or to reach them from here, because I truly wish to stay and see what you've done in its fullness.
I do believe I can spare a standard speeder. It's mostly used for inter-tower communication, but it could be repurposed for longer distance flight for the moment.
I would be very grateful, PC, for that.
If more than half the group wants to see the city, we can just say you saw it and then moved on. Since it seems
I'm happy to
like
do that. That's fine.
Okay, yeah, that works for me.
yeah, because I can understand you guys wanting to see it, but I didn't want to split the party that badly.
Okay.
Actually, can we recover strain if we all go?
Yes, but this time I'm not going to give you the advantage bonus. I'm just going to say raw successes. So yeah, you can have another chance to take a rest.
Oh yeah, but I'm not shipping it.
Oh well.
I can only be so nice for so long. Hold on a second, I need to turn this fan on.
Well, they might end up paying me. You never know how bad a guy.
Rakesh, if you get tired, I'll be more than happy to carry you around on my back. It is a large city.
You don't look too comfortable. Thanks, though.
Okay, so let's see here. What time is it? 2 hours since we started. Okay, yeah, this might be a good time to take a quick break if anyone needs to go to the bathroom. I need to decide if I want to keep this going or wrap it up, since I said I wanted it to be a bit of a shorter mission this time around.
Alright, it's back up.
Okay, so after most of you get a good tour of the city, it just appears to be a lot of red spires. Kind of evil looking if you didn't get a good look at the leadership already. But after that, you're able to... Oh, wow, out of breath. You're able to finish, get back to your bus, and since Balken has not radioed you that he has cracked the security around the central spire, you need to continue your investigation. Go ahead and post the remaining list. There's one more.
Bioadaptation sounds interesting.
Yeah, maybe some money. Hawk is all into that one.
Ross pick two. He'll let the group pick one.
And look at what great places you've led them.
Exactly, a droid civilization and then a crazy crackpot sucking the life out of the people he works with.
Okay, so
Hey, we did get some spice out of that, so.
I hear a vote for simulation and another for bioadaptation. Should we vote along those lines, or does anyone else have any suggestions?
I'll vote for bioadaptation. It's interesting how long it takes organics to evolve to figure out the problems of their environment.
Okay, that's 3 votes bio. So, unless... Alright, so you take the bus over to the lab of... Which one was that?
Dr.
Oluga.
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 They also have the weirdest name.
And you fly over. It is actually looks like the most standard lab you've seen. It's just a big gray metal structure. Well, then you might want to raise a fuss, Fi. Regardless, you arrive here. The bus comes out. You actually have normal-looking scientists come and greet you. They appear to be somewhat sycophantic, believing that you're working for the Institute, and quickly lead you to Dr. Aluga, who is, I'm going to say, like the person in the first photograph at the top, standing by a very large glass sphere with a big mush of flesh in it. Several tubes are hooked up to there.
Flesh mushes. Interesting.
And after he sees you, he goes, "Oh yes, the investigation team," and he gives a polite nod. "I was expecting you. I thought you would be visiting my facility first."
There were some complications with two of the other research facilities that we needed to address first. However, rest assured, our order of choosing facilities is in no way reflected in the levels of importance of the work you're doing here. All of the research facilities are important to the Institute.
That's good to hear. I had feared when you had visited Iden first that you might be skewed towards more of that frickin' wizard's work.
You have nothing to worry about from Iden or his research team.
So just real quick, what we see on this picture is there are guards walking around with guns and all that good stuff?
No guns. You sometimes have to deal with the art that you find, but no, just a bunch of scientists.
Okay.
And so he gestures over and goes, I assume you're briefed on the basis of my work. I guess I should just tell you the advances I've made since my last report.
Well, we have been briefed, but there's only so much a report can truly tell us. So how about in your words, brief us on what you're doing here, and then let us know of your advancements.
Oh, well, very well. Let's see. After I was part of the research group under Dr. Boreal and Laram, I decided it was best to go along my own research path, as you can plainly see, focusing more on biological adaptation. And as mostly around natural processes, I believe my original intent was behind adapting species to new biological matrices in the case of terraforming. However, I have come across more useful adaptations that I believe the Institute would be interested in, and he comes across to the other side and pointed a more fully formed sack of flesh that appears to be some sort of predatory beast. And he goes, several of these more basic creatures can be sold a lot like your common droid as beasts of burden or assistance in hunting or security. I've also created a few pastoral beasts that are very good for providing for new colonies that are cut off from regular supply. But I believe my most ingenious invention is further inside. So, and if you have any questions about these creatures, feel free to ask, but I believe you really want to see what I have further in.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Erdo.
Have you made any advances in biomanufacture of exotic materials?
Materials, no. We mostly focus on creating organic creatures wholesale, either altering ones that already exist or creating new ones based off hybridization.
Very well.
I would just like to remind him that one of his fellow researchers here is a droid and has built a large droid city of free droids. And so for him to just keep in mind of the terminology he uses around a free droid who is also an investigator from the Institute.
I meant no disrespect. I fully appreciate what PC0003 is doing in his artificial community. I'm simply stating, as a matter of fact, that there are droids sold on the market as assistants in the same way these beasts I intend to make are.
And how would you program them to be totally subservient? Have you figured a way to alter their genetics in order to make them docile and
in some, yes, mainly in the beasts of burden or the herding creatures, but I also have chemical supplements or pheromone instructions that they are receptive to. Anyone with proper training should be able to direct them.
And there have been no aberrations in your research? No rogue elements that have caused any of the beasts to behave abnormally?
Well, of course they are. It's science, after all. We can't make fully formed steps without first tripping ourselves up once in a while. But I assure you, there have been no compromises in security. Any aberration was quickly dealt with after intense study.
We would like a copy of those research notes after our tour has been finished, if that is all right.
Yes, of course. I understand standard procedure. Though I am surprised that you would require my notes when everything I've told you is already within my reports I've made to the Institute.
We would like a copy of your notes for record purposes, and also to corroborate everything that we know, and also to possibly to use your notes specifically in determining your level of funding and your budgets the next time the meetings come around.
I'm going to say that's a deception roll.
Then who's good at deceiving people?
Oh, I can definitely help out with that. I'll just feel like this is just standard procedure as inspectors. We need to cross-reference data that you sent earlier with data that is housed here. Simple as that.
Okay, it is going to be... Yeah, of course he has no discipline. He's a frickin' research doctor. It is going to be one red, one purple naturally, but I am going to upgrade it, and you'll get 2 boosts because of your credentials.
So, Ragesh, what are your ranks in deception?
Oh, just me rolling it would be 3 yellow, 2 green.
Then I will let you roll that because that is far superior to my single green.
And actually, just because I'm going to upgrade it.
Rock did too much of the talking for me to whitewash that. You can give him skilled assistance, but it still has to be based off some of his dice pool.
Okay.
Okay.
So what is your? We'll use my skill with your cunning. What is your cunning?
My cunning is 1.
Okay. So that would have been before I flipped. It would have been one yellow and 4 green, and then when I flipped, that will be 2 yellow, 3 green.
Okay. And you said 2 boosts. So against 2 red because of our credentials?
Yes, if you also counted the boosts.
Yes. Okay. Then I will roll it. Or Tommy will roll it. Excellent.
He appears somewhat a bit befuddled, but he just nods and turns.
That was a lot closer than it should have been. Goodness gracious.
Man, those despairs.
Nice rolling.
Why no despair?
I think
But
we've
anyway.
used our despair quota. I would think we've reached our despair quota for the month.
Yes, and I'd say with that advantage, he goes ahead and as he passed by a terminal, he queues up the research notes, and Phi, posing as background inspector, can go ahead and download them.
So I'm gonna ask him to go ahead and take us to this this pyramid thing that he wanted to show us.
Yes. And once Phi finishes, he continues, and you continue to what I guess you could call it the basement of the facility, and you come across something that looks a lot like the last picture, the lower left one. And on that clean floor, as you enter, you just see sitting there a kind of like a floating blob of goo.
I'll look at him and I'll look at Dr. Long and ask him, care to elaborate?
Well, I understand it doesn't look like much now, but this creature is actually I would almost say, perfect blend between raw biology and cybernetics. It is really a composition of both baseline stem cells and nanotechnology. At the moment, it is currently formless, but that is because no information has been given to it. If you allow me, and actually, you know what? Let's add a bit of random chance to this. Of course, you guys are so lucky. He just walks over to the blob and sticks his finger in it, and he quickly removes it, and the blob shakes a bit, and it rises up, and it rises up to the same height as the man, and then the features start to form, and basically, slowly turning from a grayish blob, it turns into an exact duplicate of Dr. Ugla.
Oh my.
Most impressive.
This phone.
I call it well, I must admit I'm not that creative with names, but I call it a morphoid. Let me go ahead and type that in, even though I assume you can all guess how that's spelled. It is I believe the culmination of a lot of my work. Completely identical to me, almost like a clone. It has the ability to shapeshift into almost any organic subject, so long as it does not exceed its mass. For example, while it can turn into me relatively easily, and I think almost anything about the size of a Wookiee, it can't duplicate a Rancor. It is simply limited by as much mass as it is.
What about something smaller, like a draw?
Yes, you could split it up, but then you'd be left. Well, you'd have excess mass that would probably, well, unless you told it differently, turn into another clone of that role.
This is all you have?
Could it not control its own density so it wouldn't have to lose the excess mass?
Yes, it is possible. However, then if you had it take the form of a draw, it would be a very, very dense draw, almost twice its weight.
However, It only is a physical duplicate, not a mental or otherwise.
If a person were to have the right kind of cybernetics, it can copy their intelligence, but then it would have its own personality output. Frankly, I haven't tried giving it that kind of intelligence yet.
Fascinating. I would recommend starting with experiments on the domesticated animals. Perhaps install some of those cybernetics on your herd animals and see what sort of personalities come out.
Oh, believe me, I've already slated that sort of stuff for our next few tests. At the moment, though, it does stand somewhat more as just a curiosity than anything else. But I do have my works. I do have work planned out for it.
Very fascinating.
The possibilities for this are endless.
Yes, indeed. I do hope I'm able, at the end of my work, I'm able to make this much more. What's a good word for it? It's like possible, but I guess possible will work. A much more possible reality. At the moment, the work required to make one of these is almost immeasurable. It required the effort of almost this entire facility and its staff to create just this much. Yes, potential.
So,
Its potential is currently capped because I can only make so much of it now.
so
Are the notes on your creation of the Morphoid, are those included with the research notes we downloaded earlier?
and also Hawk wants to know, like, are you having any problems? Since, pretty much everywhere we've gone, there's been problems, and this one seems to be working so well.
Why, no. I mean, the Morphoid sometimes can behave a bit oddly. I'm sure if it identified something it found interesting, it would try and copy it. But as you can see at the moment, it's acting perfectly fine. The rest of the facility is operating normally. After we had completed production of this much of the Morphoid material, we were able to resume standard experiments.
I want to see if he's lying.
All right. And just be an average check, and I'm gonna upgrade it. Actually, hold on. I'm gonna upgrade this one just to put balance back.
I'd like to approach the Morphoid and inspect it more closely.
You want to touch it?
A little bit, yeah.
All right. Well, it's still currently in Dr. Uklia's form. You do not detect that he's lying. Now, for that threat, I'm gonna say he's kind of a bit put off by Hawk taking such close inspection of him. At the moment, it's still in Uklia's form, so if you approach it, it's going to stare at you and kind of back off, a bit afraid. I don't think it doesn't seem like it's ever seen a droid before.
I'm just going to raise one hand up and stretch it out in front of me.
Roll me a force die. All right. It raises its hand in response, and that hand seems to transform into a biologic facsimile of your hand.
I want to ask the researcher, is this the only one?
Oh, but of course. I do wish I could make more of this material, but to make this much of it alone took all the resources I had at my disposal. And he points over to those tanks, and it sees those were filled of the base components used to make this, and as you can see, they're completely empty.
Okay. I want to see if I want to do a discipline check on that as well.
All right. So you want him to roll deception against you, or are you going to roll?
I'm seeing if. Yeah, exactly. So.
Okay, then just roll your discipline against 2 purple.
Okay. I mean, I'm fine doing it the other way around, the way that.
I like this way. Seems fine. I know it's skewed towards more success, but.
So it's just 2 purple, you said, right?
Yeah, I don't feel like upgrading. Call me a nice guy. Yeah, as far as you can tell, he's not lying.
Okay.
I'd like to Erdo to use Force Sense on the Morphoid.
All right. You sense it. It's there, but it has the same reading as the drained research assistants, as in it's kind of there, it's kind of not. It's certainly reading as kind of less of a life form than normal people.
Okay. Does it have any sort of emotions? Like an emotional sense from it?
Aside from simple curiosity, it does not seem to exhibit anything akin to. Well, actually, now that you mention it, it did just exhibit something along the lines of fear when it saw when it saw you, and he gestures to Rock. However, it seems to have conquered that.
I'd like to extend my hand to press my hand against the morphoids to see how it reacts.
Roll another force die. Jeez. My gosh, is the force with you.
This is the best
as you press
force
against
die ever.
it, the previous form it had of Dr. Oolong fades away. It turns back into a blob and then reforms into a pretty much perfect copy of you. In fact, it doesn't look like it's a biologic copy. It looks like it's made of metal.
If possible, I'd like to pull the I'd like to try to do the Scooby-Doo mirror trick with it.
What trick?
Raise the from okay.
Okay, no.
The old Scooby-Doo mirror trick.
Got it. Are you going to try and do something crazy, or is it just going to be like rough movements?
Let's just raise one arm up, put it down, raise the other arm up. Make maybe certain organic body poses, like the cradling of one's chin, the thinker, and a few other maybe some crazy poses, just to see if it's able to imitate them perfectly.
It seems to imitate a couple of your movements for a while, but afterwards it seems kind of fed up. Like it doesn't want to be your mirror, but it did copy a few of them to relative perfection.
Oh, this is truly amazing.
Yes, I know. I do hope I'm able to create more mass for this one. Then it'll be able to replicate quite a many features. Like I said before, it will even be able to duplicate creatures of much greater size. At the moment, it's limited to basically humanoid form.
I am thoroughly impressed, and this will definitely go into. This will definitely be included in our budgetary meetings when we when we're allocating funds.
Hold on, just for Phi, roll a hard xenology, and then Erda, what were you asking?
Doctor, I would recommend continuing experiments on your creature this size for the time being. With its ability to assume new forms, it could be very dangerous. And finally, I would recommend that whatever you do, treat it with kindness. I know that is not always the case with experiments funded by the Institute, but you've created new life here, and you never know how things will respond.
But of course, I've treated this thing like it was my own child. I'm very proud of its capabilities, even at this point.
Well, I think we have everything we need for this inspection.
Yes, he seems like he doesn't have any more to show you. Seems like the Morphoid was pretty much the grand prize of his display.
It truly is a crown jewel.
Yes, so if you have no more questions for him, you may leave.
Oh, I'm ready to go.
Okay.
All right. On your way out, on your way back to the bus, you get a radio from Balken. He seems like, okay, we've cracked the security the agents put around the central tower. I think we're ready to complete our mission.
Excellent.
So you guys take the bus and you take it back to let me just flip this back way over here. You can wave at all these sub-facilities as you fly by. You come back to the base, and you find now the sun flare where it was, Balken now standing by it along with Tiberius, and also a very small contingent of droids that, for those that encounter the Menagerie of Madness, you can identify as the same droids that were with Tiberius when they were at the facility and left with him. It appears that the full League has formed.
Ah, the League of Extraordinary Automatons.
Yes, with my master's help, we have cracked the code that the agents put around the security around the central spire. We may now enter at our whim.
Excellent. Then let's not dilly-dally.
All right, you go over to the giant metal door that this building has, because of course it does, and with a few taps of this data pad, Balken just opens it. And you enter. It looks like just a standard, almost like a regular skyscraper with the lobby that is empty. There are several data terminals that apparently linked up to the Signet array, but they have been shut down. Any attempts to reactivate them, it leads to them powering up, but then they quickly shut down. It seems like they're kind of hardwired as short circuit. You can try messing with that, or you can just take the elevator. It looks like, from what Tiberius is able to explain, a straight shot to the top floor. It's a direct access.
I'll say, Balken, stay back with the League. Let us go first.
Are you sure that's wise? It seems like this institute focuses more on brain than brawn.
It's true, but...
Why can't we all just go together?
That's true, but it's true that it's not also true that when organics are backed into a corner that they tend to lash out violently.
These are not entirely organics, Tiberius points out.
Balken knows these people. It's the best edge we've got.
Are there any access panels for, like, the HVAC, indoor, electricity kind of things, like a service junction and round confined?
Yes, there's an access panel that connects to the elevator. It appears to be the only of its kind, though, that you can find. You can rather easily rip it out, but that just cuts power to the elevator.
All right, well.
only chance you get to see her ass.
But
I'm not trying to go through the ducts. I was just curious. Gosh.
Then let us all go together.
All right. All right. You get in the elevator. The League takes up position. It looks like a few of the droids apparently are combat models because they whip out weapons. One of them has swords. But Tiberius and a few of the what appear to be more domestic models and astromechs stick close to the center of the group. Balken does the same. Hold on a sec.
I'll make sure I take up a point position within the elevator, sort of in front of, making sure to sort of shield as many as I can with my body.
All right. The League apparently takes appreciation of your ability. A few of the astromechs chirp in binary that they're like wowzers. Tall and keen. And so the elevator makes it to the top, and you just come across. It used to be just the Signet control hub. Several consoles ringed around the center of the room, but in the center, what were probably the original control console has been removed in favor of what looked like assortment of pods, like just vertical pods that appear that they'd be able to contain a humanoid. And there's about 5 of them, and they're all ringed together in the center of the room. You're basically facing them. They're about medium range from you, long range from where you're standing to the other side of the room.
I will cautiously approach the pods.
You want to try stealthily or just carefully?
I'm just going to carefully tread towards the pods, going slowly, but at the ready.
Okay. Roll me. Would it be athletics or coordination, you think?
Um,
Well, carefully would probably be coordination.
Okay, yeah. Roll me. Oh, you'd be at their vigilance. So, ooh, that's high. Roll me 3 red die. Your coordination
Ugh.
gets 3 red die.
Okay. Are you all prepared to stand in awe of my amazing coordination?
Hey, you never know. Might do it.
Yeah, you got formidable. I'm frankly surprised there are no despairs. But all right, you did fail. As you get closer, there is a very loud metallic clang as one of your boots' feet actually hit the floor just a bit too hard. And it kind of, due to the size and relative emptiness of the room, echoes a bit too much. And 3 of the pods ding on, and the doors open. And out comes 3 individuals, the human, the Devronian, and the Twi'lek, all with their typical cybernetic implants.
I wonder why they're 5. Interesting.
That is
5
interesting.
pods.
The Devronian and the human just look a bit perturbed, but the Twi'lek kind of smiles and looks at you. It's like, you've made quite a thorough investigation of the base, haven't you?
Yes.
And then,
As was our orders.
as you respond, she kind of she looks at you, and with that same smile she first had, and they kind of appear frozen for a minute until the human and the Devronian start to walk towards the elevator, but they don't appear to be armed or have any weapons, and the Twi'lek turns and starts moving towards the console against the far wall.
Wait, if they're moving towards the elevator, they're moving towards us.
Yes, they are. But they're moving. It doesn't even look like they're acknowledging you. They're just moving towards the elevator. It's the same thing with the Twi'lek, but she's walking away from you.
I will make a mad dash for the terminal.
The same one the Twi'lek's going towards?
Oh yes, there's obviously something important there.
Okay.
I don't care about being discreet at this point either.
Okay, so if you're not being discreet, it's just going to be a competitive athletics check.
Oh, 2 green.
All right, then. Well, roll yours, and I'll roll mine.
Wait, Fi, run towards me. I'll hurl you towards him.
All right, nope. The Twi'lek gets there first, and she's at long range. Does anyone want to try and shoot her, or?
I will. I would ion blaster, but I'm not entirely sure I should just yet, unless the group wants to.
No, go for it. I mean,
I'm not ready to start combat, but I'm not certain what else to or what.
Well, I would say with Faye or Fi. I mean, go for it if that's what you want to do.
Now you know what? I just want to get close. Can I say I am at least close to her because I tried to sprint to the terminal ahead of her?
I'd say with those 2 advantage, you're at medium.
I just want to get close. I'll pull up my ion. I'll have my ion gun at the ready, but I want to get close to see what she's actually doing before I just shoot some random.
You're not going to hurt her
possibly
with the
innocent
ion
person.
You're not going to hurt her with the ion gun. Shoot her and question her later.
You know what? I'll go with that. Adversary?
Yes, 2.
All right. Might as well.
Oh, and she has range defense 1, so it's a setback 2.
Raw attack! Oh. Can I shoot the
okay.
terminal instead?
No, I say with
down?
the 2 advantage, you hit the terminal.
That's what I'm saying. I shoot the terminal instead.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about her head. Regardless,
No,
yes,
no.
you hit the terminal.
Good.
You hit it with that frickin' microvirus thing. Oh boy, ion guns. And sparks just start flying over the terminal, and it quietly, the lights just start to dim and fade, and the Twi'lek looks back at you, a bit perturbed, but then she just stands there and she looks back towards the center of the room, and actually the human and the Devronian, they stop too and look towards the center of the room. Anyone want to take this opportunity to do something, or we'll let them do
Going
it?
to ask what's going on here.
Okay. In response, apparently the cybernetics on their heads had holoprojectors built in, and let me just move this over into the next thing. 4 faces appear in the holograms.
Each or just a total of 4 faces?
The holo projectors project 4 faces together. So yes.
Oh, okay, yeah, gotcha.
You didn't answer my question.
All 4 faces speak in unison, but you can tell they each have their own individual voice, so it's kind of like a chorus. They go, "Welcome to Facility 07. It appeared I thought you had enough. Sorry, look at me ruin this scene. We thought you had enough time to perfectly divine what's going on here."
Not specifically with the facility. What's going on with those 3?
These agents exist to service us, no more, no less.
And who are you?
We are the directors of the Institute for the Advancement of Galactic Technology.
All right. I think we've had enough of these shenanigans. I think it's time to put down these agents, take what we can, blow it up. What do you guys think?
No!
In the time it would take you to take down our agents, we will set the automated defense satellites to destroy this facility.
No. Hold on. No need.
Oh, so that was out of character.
Now
I'll
she
preface
says it
that
out of
next time.
character.
Damn it, Fox!
Sorry.
You scared the crap
No,
out
I
of
mean,
me.
he didn't use the 5 voice.
Oh, that's true.
I haven't been able to use it today. I'm totally off. I can't even get it. I've been trying to while my mic's been off, but I just can't get it today.
Well,
I'm
regardless,
working on it though.
how do you respond to the directors?
Turn off the hologram. Ragesh doesn't really know what to make of any of this, so.
Neither does Rock. He is incredibly confused.
The avatars look around through the hologram, and they finally center on Balken, and they say, "We thought showing you 2 of our facilities would be enough, but apparently you need to see more." And Balken just goes, fuck what I wanted to see. I just wanted to know what the hell you guys were doing." And the avatars look back at the group and they go, "Apparently we were wrong about all of you. Perhaps you're not worthy of any of our knowledge."
What you're saying is you want us to work for you, bloody wankers, hovering about, technology and all that, abandonment of a bloody, galaxy, allegedly.
After what we've seen, we do not want to work with you at all, or rather you work with us.
Well, that's not nice.
On the fusion of organic and technological life and its expansion across the galaxy?
If that is what you believe our goals to be, then you are truly short-sighted.
I'm still just curious.
We have many goals. Achieving that one would be but a thought. We have much larger plans.
You seek dominion over the galaxy, don't you?
Dominion over the galaxy? How pedestrian.
You seek to unite all consciousness.
Enough. We did not come here to address your opinions about the Institute or your thoughts on our goals. We simply wanted to see what you would do if we gave you access to a facility that was still in operation.
Why don't you just tell us what your goals are?
Because that is not the point of this.
Then what is the point?
Where the bloody experiment?
Ah, the one with this odd-sounding voice comes the closest.
But we helped out everywhere we went, right?
Yes, and you provided marvelous data. But now we believe it is time for this experiment to conclude. However, yes, time to conclude.
Oh,
We will allow for one last chance for you to prove worthiness to us. Succeed, and we will allow you to leave and continue our observations elsewhere. Fail, and you already know the consequence.
finally,
And,
some
the
terminology.
terminals that Phi did not shoot and short out turn on, and they project their own holograms, and they show several of them show just an image of one of the defense satellites that you saw when you were passing by. Another few show the planet itself. A couple show all the defensive satellite emplacements over the planet, and show that all of them on the right side are targeting the facility now. Are you ready to provide us with our conclusion?
I was going to try and stealthily let PC 003 know that the place is under threat.
Oh, his place is perfectly fine. It's just the base you're at.
Oh, just the base we're at?
Yeah, they're all
Oh, never
targeting
mind.
this one facility, this one sub-facility, not the facility as a whole.
That's fine. I was getting tired of all this muckety muck anyway.
All right, and then the their holograms disappear because I'm too lazy. They'll stay up there, and all of the agents' holograms now project this. And while their avatars are gone, you can still hear their voice, and they say, "The missing section of this code, you will provide it."
Okay.
Are these for cotton?
Decipher any of those runes?
It appears to be of several dialects, but you notice that in the central circle, the one that appears to actually be missing text, it's Rakatan hieroglyphics, or runes. A couple of them you recognize as the same ones that Aiden had put on his gate. So for you, I would say, geez, it'd just be a hard lore check with a boost die from what you've seen earlier. Hard
I
lore.
will totally help as well.
The question is, oh, never mind.
All right.
You can extra boost die for Phi helping.
Does that matter at this point? You can.
You never know.
All right. So you're able to decipher that the runes list out a destination, and they say, "Through the promised door, salvation shall lead." But the part where it seems to tell you where the door leads, that's the part that's blank. However, the runes that are around the Rakatan runes that aren't in Rakata, there seem to be in lesser species dialect. That came after the Infinite Empire. They seem to give you a rough approximation of space that, if properly deciphered back into Rakata, would reveal coordinates. So it would be either. Oh man, I just had this written down. Okay, yeah, it would be a daunting lore check with 2 boosts now for what you've been doing, or daunting education check. Either way, I'm going to flip. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm sorry. I just completely did that wrong. It's hard, and if you do education, it's going to be hard. It's going to be 2 red, 1 purple. If you do lore, it's going to be 3 red, and I'm going to flip again for another purple.
Oh, lore is going to be 3 red, 1 purple?
Yes. Because this is now more counter-deciphering.
Let's see. Spy can help. What's Spy's education?
I have two ranks in education.
Okay, I think we should roll education in this case. That was
I
2
will-
red, 1 purple?
I will give you
Yes, but I'm still going to flip either way, so it would be 3 red.
3 red. But not 3 red, 1
Yeah,
purple.
it's going to be just 3 red.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, you fail, but that advantage, Balken immediately steps forward and shouts at just a bunch of numbers. And then the image fades. And you hear the avatar speak again. And they say, "We knew we would get the answer from one of you. as previously discussed, you may leave. And then the holograms shut down, and the agents just plop over, almost like they just passed out.
All right. I'm going to scavenge their. Sorry, not scavenge. I'm going to investigate these agents. I'll do a full workup on them if I have to.
All right, it is going to be average medicine check to at least identify them in the current state. Okay. Yeah, they're not unconscious; they're dead. If you want more information about that, it'd be a daunting medicine check. And
Wait,
I'm
you
gonna.
just said they were dead?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. I will ghoul. I'm going to ghoul all their cyber tech then.
It appears. Yeah. Roll. No. When you look it open, all the circuits are fried. In fact, that they probably induced a feedback, and that's what killed them.
Oh, I still want them. It's for study, not for using.
Well, they're just solid hunks of fused metal now. There's nothing...
Okay. So you're saying they basically melted inside the people?
Yeah.
Well, that's just unfortunate.
Were there bounties on them?
Well, I guess now that you have access to the signet array, you can look it up. The Twi'lek was a former slave that a Hutt wanted back, but the other two there's no information on. You can roll another. In fact, well, you said you couldn't, so I'll just go ahead and roll it for you. Okay, yeah, he was going to pay another 500 for her, dead or alive.
Alright, well, I guess I'm going to take her, or him, or the Twilight.
I'll ask that out loud to Balken. Or not Blaken, Balken, I'm sorry.
I bought one from a dealer. Bought my first one from a dealer. Headlight went out.
I don't think we should have given them those coordinates. If they're
The
using...
Institute's knowledge is fine. I don't even think they would be able to successfully get past the tangle with whatever they find.
Well,
It does what it's the wrong way, but I'm pretty sure it already had the answer. Like I said, we're just a bloody experiment here. We're going to see if we're worthy. What if we
Either
see
way,
if
I doubt you'd
again?
be able to punch 15 defense satellites before they bombarded this place.
true, but I didn't mention something that Circle was some infinity gate, and they could pass through. They could pass the planets without traveling through space. It's possible.
Eyes kind of bulge, and they go, "Where is this gate?"
It's an Iden's research facility. We'll take it to you.
Take
you to it either way.
Take you to it.
And he
No,
says,
I'll just go pick it up and bring it here.
"Oh, it's way too big for that."
I think Brock totally meant that.
No,
He was-
Balken's going to say, "Get in the ship. We're blowing that part of the facility up on the way out."
Works for me. Gives more room for the droid city to expand. I'll radio PC-003 and let them know that the extra space that I had told them about, it just opened up. We're going to level it a bit for them.
Tiberius looks at Balken and he says, "If you compromise this facility further, you compromise the League's work." And Balken just says, "Leave. You already gave me what you wanted, and that seemed like the whole reason you were here in the first place." And Tiberius kind of blinks, looks at him, and he goes, "Then we must break contact again." Balken just waves him off, and he says, "Well, it looks like you've done fine on your own."
Children,
and then Tiberius
please,
just
no more
nods
fighting.
and walks out.
Balken, you need to be more understanding with your children.
Yeah, Erdo wants to go up to Tiberius as he's leaving and say, yeah, he'll miss you. He might not show it, but I think he'll miss you.
I believe I can hope. But my master has a lot to learn, even with his great intellect. And he says that last part kind of sarcastically before he, with the League, departs. PC responds to the warning, or rather, I guess not the warning, but the promise of new land, and he just, you hear kind of just a bit of a binary chirping as he kind of excitedly starts telling you what he plans to do with the new land. But he doesn't stop talking. It's kind of annoying.
So it's all right. Excellent, PC. And is there a line I can reach you at? If you require any further help or have any further ideas, I would like to remain in contact.
Well, contact through wild space will be intermittent, but I can give you the proper signet array coordinates. However, with just your basic comlink, I don't think it will be enough. You will have to secure your own relay station in order to contact me again.
It's possible, and we truly are beings of extraordinary means. I will do my best to keep in contact.
Then I shall do my best to keep my auditory sensors to the wind.
Alrighty, so yeah, so that's it. I'm ready to get out of here now.
All right.
I'm done.
If everyone's done loading the place, you get on the Sunflare, and as you fly off, you go back to the coordinates where the data pad showed Iden's facility to be, and since it's not that hard to hit, you blow it to bits on your way out. There's nothing left but a nice big crater, and the Sunflare is able to get away. Again, as you fly away, even with the destruction of Iden's facility, the defense satellites don't seem to react to your departure. So unlucky. All right. All right. And
I have a better shot than Phi.
You are now away, and that is the end of this mission. Now to discuss
fun
final payout for experience. Let's see. It did end up being 3 hours, so I'll go ahead and just leave that at the base 15. 1 for solving the problem. I'd say 1 for. 1 for each facility's problem you solved. So that's 2. You didn't create the problem at the last facility because you guys were so lucky. So I'll go ahead and let the payout be the knowledge you got about the Morphoid. That can be tangible. So that actually just leaves out to 17. Anyone want to come up with maybe a general RP point?
For talking down Ido instead of punching him out.
That was
Yeah, you know what? With the whole thing you did with Iden and what Rock did with PC's problem, I'll say that's enough to give you that last point. Now, most intriguing player?
I would say, for me, it's between Birdo and Rock.
Yeah, that seems to be a general trend. So, shall we have a vote? Do this all democratic-like? Kyle voted for Rock. Leslie, do you have a preference?
Too far gone to come back, but there's a lot of hope.
Is he here? Oh. Okay, that's 2 votes for Rock. So, yep, majority. Rock shall get the most interesting player award. And now for credit payout, Balken's flat broke, and Hawk managed to get 1,000 credits, which I doubt he wants to share.
That's fine. And Hawk, I told you we'd discuss it later. I picked up a blast, I think a regular blaster rifle in my sort of general dealings and whatnot for the broker and up to this point, and I had completely forgotten about them. So I will give one of them to him, just to sort of, and ask him if in the future he would just trust my judgment and not worry about payment in credit form as much in further missions.
Okay, Kyle, make another hard xenology check with a setback die because you now don't even have your observations to go off of.
Haha, but my researcher thing takes 1 off the knowledge check, so...
Well, I might as well give you something to take off then.
Yay, okay. And I used one of our last Destiny points. How does everything blank out like that?
Man, you need to go find the guy that made this and start shaking him down because he's got something against you.
It
Yep,
does.
the notes seem really obscure. All you can tell is that it basically boils down to stem cells plus nanorobots equals Murphoid.
Wait, couldn't I have gotten Balken's help at this point?
I don't want to kind of cheese it that much. 'Cause,
Oh, come on.
That's throwing 7 intellect behind that. I have to.
Wait, I have an idea. 5. Why don't you just continue to study those and maybe
Yeah, I will continue
after-
my thing. I think once a week. Yeah, kind of like with Criddle. It's just so I can understand it. One day I'll pass this fucking check.
Fair enough.
and actually,
Only
now that
just
we're
some
sort of
interesting
done,
research.
I would like to ask Balken if he could take a look at one or two of my servo motors that seem to not be working at full capacity and see if he can heal one of my crits.
And which of the difficulties easy?
I think I know I had 2 left. I think they were both easy. I don't think they were very high. I didn't get like a gruesome injury or anything like that. I think at best they were average.
There you go. Nope, we lost Kale.
Uh-oh.
All right,
Each
so
person will get $200.
so before we end the recording, what do you guys want to do with what you have on you? You do have those drugs that Aiden made.
I want to study
Personally,
those.
I would like to convince Hawk not to sell them because we still don't know exactly what they can do or what they do, and to keep them for further study.
No, Hawk is definitely going to sell them.
Okay. Are you gonna find who are you gonna try and sell it through? Because you want to do it through Borga or just a random
Wait.
market?
Would you give them to me for 500 credits? I think that's a fair offer. It's a friendship discount there. Come on, Hawk. We've had good times together. Remember that time we did that thing and that bottle got shot? Come on.
Definitely not, man. 500. I've got 10 vials. I mean, I don't mind giving you a vial so that you can do researches. That's what you need. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the point. I want it for research purposes. If it doesn't look like the standard spice recipe, the recipe itself can be worth a lot of money.
Yeah, I can give you a vial so that we can have it on file for the agency and for you to do. That's no
All right.
problem.
So we basically ended up with. Okay. What? Sorry.
Well, I'm just going to say to Hawk, now because this is an unusual recipe, whoever you sell it to, if any sort of bad news comes back to them as this spice is defective or it draws a lot of ire towards them, they're going to direct it towards you because you're the one who sold it to them. So I just want you to be aware that there is an inherent danger in selling spice, but selling an untested, unknown spice recipe, there is far greater danger included with that.
When you talk to Hawk, it kind of goes in one ear and out the other.
All right. So you're just giving one vial to Fire to study?
Yeah, and then for the bounty, everybody gets 200. So he is splitting the bounty.
Okay. So he splits up his 1,000 into 200 credits for everyone. All right. So basically ends up with Hawk having spices and Fi having all of the knowledge. Okay, so finally to wrap this all up, thank you for playing and thank you for watching Shadow of the Broker 23. Jeez, 23. Blurring the Line. Sayonara, have fun.
Good night.
Adios.